Welcome back, everybody. We're here for round 2 of IHSEA's Valorant regular season. This matchup between the Patriots of George Washington High School and the Eagles of Taft High School. Two schools from Chicago Public Schools, if I'm not mistaken. And we're here ready for the action. Both of these teams won in round 1 earlier at the 1 o'clock match. And that's why they're up against each other now. The Valorant regular season is Swiss in style. So the way it works is a team will play against a team that has a like record. So two 2-0 teams will be matched up in round 3, and so on and so forth, to create a situation where we really settle out the seeds and figure out who's the best teams in the state. Let's take a look, or at least recap a little bit of what happened in the first round for those of you that are just tuning in. All 2-0 wins except for one. We had a forfeit with Niles West beating Barrington, but then Niles North took down Lions 13-2, 13-0. Whitney Young took down York's second varsity team 13-2, 13-6. York's first varsity team took down Plainfield North 13-6, 13-10. George Washington won 13-6, 13-7 over St. Patrick. Jones College Prep won 13-6, 13-5. Springfield Public Schools won 13-1, 13-6 over Salem. And Taft won 13-2, 13-4 over Hersey. The one that did not go, or rather did go 3 games, was a very, very close matchup to start off the season between Glenwood and Von Steuben. Von Steuben took the first round 13-4. Glenwood took the second round 13-11, and our third round went to a quadruple overtime where Glenwood was finally victorious in a 17-15 Game 3 finish to take the win off the start on the season. So some craziness happening in that first round between Von Steuben and Glenwood, and hopefully we get to see some action like that here between George Washington and Taft, both these teams with pretty commanding victories to start off the season. I'm Coach McGee, head coach of Springfield Public Schools. I am or will be shortly joined by the head coach of Barrington High School, Coach Bruce. So we're excited to bring you the action today. I don't know if he's back yet. I know he had to go deal with a moment with his team, their match about to happen. This has been really fun. Our map selection today, we will start at Bind. We will go to Ascent, and if necessary for map 3, we will then go to Haven. So we had Split and we had Icebox banned by these two teams today. George Washington, one of the teams going into this season that we knew was going to be extremely strong throughout the course of the season. They have an immortal player on their team. Taft, a team we don't know quite as much about because they didn't participate in the Valorant test tournament that happened as our preseason, so to speak. George Washington, however, was very, very strong in that. In fact, they won that preseason tournament. So they're looking to continue their momentum here. As I look at these rosters here, some names you might recognize, particularly on the side of George Washington. A lot of their team, 4 of the 5 players there, Pone, Rise, Figs, Paradox, all Fortnite players for George Washington as well. And they're very strong Fortnite players. You see some of those names also just finished playing in their Rocket League season. So George Washington have a lot of kids double and triple dipping in games, potentially more. And you'll love to see that, these kids that are this high a level at this many games. It's really exciting to see in the IHSEA. I'm going to stop talking for just a second to see if Coach Bruce has been able to rejoin me yet.
Yeah, I'm back.
There he is. Hello. Introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, just the Barrington coach here to cast some Valorant. The usual Saturday activity.
I'm excited.
How did your team do first round?
Pretty commanding victory for us in the first one. We dominated 13-2 or 13-1 the first round, I think it was, and then 13-6 the second round. It was really, really fun. We pulled the old cinnamon twist rotation there at Bind, and it was a goofy little rotation we got to catch on stream. And then we also saw one of our players embarrass himself with a shorty. So some good times happening there in that first stream.
Nice. Yeah, I heard it's some potential montage material. So
yes, absolutely. Love this new overlay Valorant provides us in the character selection screen, or agent selection screen rather. I think it's super cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
Do you yourself play a lot of Valorant, Coach Bruce?
I played in beta and then a little bit on release, but for some reason my ping is very bad. Like I get like 70 ping to Chicago.
That's interesting.
And
I think it would be better up there.
So, yeah, you'd think. It's just like my ISP just routes it really weird. Only for Valorant, so I don't know how to figure that out with them, but
that is odd. Yeah, a lot has definitely changed in the game since then. One of the big changes is the addition of Icebox. However, since that was banned, we will not see that today. But we may see some action from two of our new heroes, Sky and Killjoy. So we'll see if that happens today.
Select your
I'm
agent.
very excited. Some pretty standard picks thus far, although Cypher on both sides is a little unexpected considering he's a little weak right now. But we will see what happens. He does get some good intel at Bind. Let's see. Both teams locked in. Give me just a second, guys. I think we have a small tech issue with our streamers. We'll get taken care of quickly here. Our coach Bruce is not able to see our stream right now, so for the time being, I'll take you through the action, and we're gonna get him some permissions and see if we can get that taken care of. Taken care of as soon as we possibly can. For the time being, we're here in the buy phase and this pistol round to start off the action today. George Washington will be on defense first as they got to
We are good. Yep.
Okay, we're good to go. We're back in the action. So yeah, George Washington on defense here because the team that selects the map will go on offense first, and Taft as the higher seed at this point in our tournament is the higher seed. We're moving forward. George Washington kind of taking a offensive defense there. They were moving forward, and it did not exactly pay off. The trade comes in. We can see the sight lines now as the setting we've chosen to put on there, so you can see just how close some of these things are. Alex takes down our sanity. The numbers are going the way of George Washington now because that pop off there from Alex. He's going to see two more here. Can he finish them as well? Doesn't quite get the jet. He's in trouble now, taking a lot of damage. Gets one. Can he get the finish? No, not quite.
Revealing area.
Razor, that team does manage to avoid it. Paradox takes care of him though, and George Washington takes round one very quickly.
Yeah, a lot of scrappy play in the bathrooms there. It wasn't even... No one even really got a push on the site.
Absolutely. I think what was interesting is you should watch for the rest of this match. George Washington likely to have very aggressive pushes, even here on defense.
Yeah, it looks like the Eagles are going to go ahead and set up for a B push here. Full saving on this round. It doesn't even look like they're investing into armor, so they're looking for that strong third round buy. And we're going to have a little bit of a B split here. Only Cypher on the site. So let's see. Omen's backing him up now, but the Cypher utility should be enough. They're rotating over early, actually. So maybe they have some intel. Didn't hear anything. Push is coming in.
If they can manage to get this round here, it would be a steal with that literally not spending a penny.
Spike is actually going to get planted.
Spike
And the
planted.
trades are going their way too.
One
Finally
player
even up,
remaining.
but it's still actually pretty hectic. 2v1 situation now. Paradox in a 1v2 and low HP. So this could actually be flipped, and it looks like it is. Nice
Yeah, that
run
is
there.
huge. Not a penny spent. Now they're in real good situation with that econ tie. Here comes those armors and weapons. So in round 3 here, we're tied. An unexpected development as George Washington was able to invest some money and still managed to lose the round. I think this is going to be a really good matchup today. Both of these teams were incredibly strong in round 1 at 1 o'clock and handedly beat their opponents. And that's why we chose them to be on stream. We wanted to see the unstoppable, or I guess immovable object. Oh, I said that backwards twice. You know what I'm saying, people.
Yeah, yeah. Thor hammer and Captain
Yeah.
Shield. All
Yes,
that good stuff.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Except that did actually end up going one way. So we'll see which way it goes in this one.
Yeah, that was really interesting because they had already like gambled towards the B site anyways, so they had the people there. I'm not really sure what exactly happened. I guess it was just a little too chaotic. And it looks like Eagles are going for a similar B push here.
Paradox has got to be
people.
careful.
Yeah.
He's about to run into some
close up.
company and he doesn't know it yet.
We do have,
Take a
I
look.
believe, 5 sheriffs on the side of the team. Not able to. Oh, did get one coming out of the smoke, and he will be traded.
George Washington starting to fall. Taft putting some eliminations down here. One through the wall. Big trouble. He's blinded and gets lit up. Only one Patriot left, and I don't know that he's even going to push it. You just kind of, although you know he doesn't really have much to save past the. I mean, he only has a sheriff, so at this point, it's not like he has a lot to risk here. But you don't want to feed the econ of the Eagles here.
Yeah, in this spot, it might just be best to look for an exit, and he does get taken out there by Donatello with the sheriff himself, actually.
So after not spending a penny in round one, Taft is able to take 2 rounds in a row, and the econ is clearly in their favor. Take a look at those dollar amounts.
Yeah, that's a big swing from losing the first pistol. So,
and not something you see very often. I mean,
yeah,
it's so interesting how dramatic the momentum can shift in Valorant just when you have somebody pop off and make a play. We talk about this a lot, but it's less like, you know, they sort of joke it's called CS:GO Overwatch, but it's less like Overwatch in the sense that one person is far more likely to make a huge impact, whereas in CS:GO and Valorant, one person plays, you know, econ's gone, gun's gone, nobody cares. If that person pops off, they've won the round.
Yeah, definitely. Looks
Oh,
like Taft was doing more of a default setup and did lose a few of those duels, so they're not going to have too much power. They're rotating back towards B. It's what's been working for them. Looks like they already have Cypher set up to watch for the flank, so they're going to commit 3 through hookah here.
3 Patriots waiting for them.
Yeah, Patriots have been running a very similar setup the whole time, just 3 on the east side, and it looks like the showstopper is going to be popped. Ray's going in, only getting 1, and then getting traded off. It looks like they weren't aware that there were more people on site. Cypher will get that kill, but Rise is looking for him here. As he plants, he's going to catch him and deny the plant.
Yeah, real tall order there for our sanity to get pulled that off. The crosshair is worth looking at for Rise here. Our streamer wanted us to point out this is a very unique look for the crosshair here.
I was trying not to look at it while I was watching, but it's hard not to. It's
giving me a headache.
Pretty big.
I see you, Rise. I wonder if his Fortnite settings would reflect his taste in Crosshair and Valorant.
Well, I don't know if this happened to anyone else, but all of my kids' settings and my own reset today while we were playing. So I don't know if that happened to anyone else. But
that might have happened to us as well, but we thought it was because we switched computers to go from playing at home for practice to actually being in our labs.
No, yeah, something up with Riot servers. But that's definitely not the default Crosshair, so it must
no.
didn't happen to him. And yeah, I think Taft has just kind of identified that the B site is where they want to focus their effort.
Check out the flank.
Yeah,
coming in by Reyna.
Spotted here, probably by the Cypher traps. Reyna does hear that jump, and there it is. She will get revealed.
Rise with the first pick of the round. Oh, sorry, second pick of the round. There was a drop there from the sofa as well that I missed. Our sanity looks for one. Not going to get it yet, but here goes the drops. George Washington falling again. This is not something we saw a lot of in that preseason invitational, but Taft is really giving them something to think about now. Now here comes the rotation. They're going to abandon B, go to A. The Reyna for George Washington has a lot of catching up to do, and Jet is going to be all by herself and low health.
Yeah, I really like the teleport there. They knew that Reyna was on the flank, and they can just escape and kind of reset the situation. Now they know exactly where she is or should be. She will win the first duel, but it's a 1v3 retake here. It should be a pretty tall task for Alex.
It'd be tough, but if there's a duelist that can do it, it is Reyna.
The off shot. Not completely blind, but does lose the duel.
But yeah, George Washington seemed untouchable in that preseason invitational. They played extremely well. I think that they probably have a little more to give than they're showing right now, finding some comfort here. Maybe it's that bind isn't really their map, or at least that they're just running into a really good team. We didn't see Taft in the preseason invitational, and they may have a lot to show here.
Yeah, this is looking to be a pretty good match so far. Both teams kind of trading rounds back and forth.
Here.
Find one of those maps that I don't think it's incredibly favoring offense or defense. It's much more about personal style and play and execution of play calling. But I think that in general, if George Washington can go into this attack, they want to be up probably 2 or 3 if they're feeling good about that.
Agree. Yeah, the Eagles found a nice pick in the bathroom area, but they're still playing slow with their default. 2 pushing up B long. They actually don't have the bomb. It's almost a fake. Let's see.
Where is
Patriots react. No one yet. Cypher ult will go down, so they should have full knowledge of this A push.
They do now. Here comes that rotation.
They're not able to rotate in time. It looks like the bomb will go down, but it's a 4v3 retake.
Spike planted.
All the players from George Washington are going through spawn, so it'll be a pretty one-sided attack. Nice shot there by Corey, taking out Heaven and then smoking it after, denying players. And another shot in the back onto
Corey with the op.
Oh my god.
And another one.
4K in the round. Drops the ult. It's a little bit disrespect, or was it already down? I'm pretty sure those were all up kills. Okay, he was still down.
Did use it in a fight. I was gonna say that is downright disrespectful. But a great play by Corey there.
Yeah, really
looking at your econ. No money there for George Washington. All the money that they need for Taft. A momentum game, and Taft has it right now.
Very important round, and something to note on Taft, they've switched their Cypher and Sova up. So Cypher is now going to be holding the A site. They're still running 3 teams, but they've changed the players. Let's see if it makes a difference. Alex wins the duel in bathrooms, so that'll give them a slight advantage.
Alex having a great game so far. The scoreboard is not reflective of how Alex has been playing, winning many duels.
Yeah, he's been doing well. And it looks like potential B play. I mean, they're still leaving themselves open for a teleport if anything goes wrong. So I think B long control is really important on this map, just because of the access you have to both sides.
Why do you think that Sova Cypher switch happened? What's the thought process there?
Usually something like that, it's either like a player confidence thing where they feel like maybe they can hold the site better, and so they'd rather just swap early and lock it down. But Cypher holding A, doing a good job. But Corey with a nice pick to open up the site. 2 people still there, but it's versus 4. Rise and Pone get one round each, and it's going to swing the round really hard back into the Patriots' favor, actually. 1v4.
30 seconds left.
Omen in the back of this site. Let's see if he can... It doesn't look like they actually know where he is right now. Jet just barely holding this angle. He can sneak under that if he wants to. He just heard her drop. No one really watching. He throws the blind, so that'll reveal where he is. Only 10 seconds left, so I think he's going to go ahead and just try and sneak through CT and save here. Not much he can do in this round.
He's about to be discovered.
Yeah, I don't think he'll cross. He smokes it.
Oh, that was almost a brilliant shot. He gets one. Helps he kind of bit.
Yeah, they tried to take him out there, but he'll get one. But that was a nice defense there from the Patriots. It was not looking good at first, but both
Corey
players
spends money on the op immediately again. Spends almost all the money she had. Tell you what, you need to nerf that Okori op. That has been so big all game, and any elimination to get that out of their hands is really going to be valuable for George Washington here.
Yeah, 10-4 so far, 7 rounds in. Not too bad. Is in a little bit of a pickle money-wise, but you always have the team to drop you those ops if you're dropping them a few times. It's okay. Yeah, just another looking like a B hit here from the Patriots. Or sorry, the Eagles. Walking up long, will get spotted by the Sova drone. We're just holding right now. They're actually rotating back potentially.
Yeah, it looks like
2 players took the teleport. Bomb's taking the long rotate. And this is turning into a pretty quick A hit.
Joke's over! You're dead!
The interesting thing though is the quick movement is by everybody except the person carrying the spike. Cypher is now just now joining the party.
Yeah, only a little bit of control on the site so far. Cypher is going to finally get to site. It looks like he's getting the bomb down. Lots of smokes down on the site, but that means that they're not up for the retake. So We'll see what happens here. 3v4 situation.
Don at Tello.
One player remaining.
Gonna drop a Corey of the op. Get out of here.
And Alex in a 1v3. No ult, gets flashed off the angle. And a nice peek there from Phoenix. Close out there.
You look at our. It seems like the entire game, the Eagles have had the econ advantage. Yet we're sitting here at 5-3. George Washington's playing young and scrappy with a lot of these rounds.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Taft have played a better game so far, and I think they'll start increasing that round differential. You can see the economy right now is not so great for George Washington, so this should be a pretty good round for Taft. I'm using the ult here to help defend the hookah area. I don't know. Brady's gonna check. Yep, they blind and take him out.
The Nemo spot gets found out.
Yep. Unfortunate. Oh, Ray's committing the showstopper to clear the site. Unfortunately, your teammate already took out the Sova, so also
the overkill there.
Yeah.
Spike planted.
But this should be a pretty easy round to close out here from Taft. If you're the Patriots in this situation, probably want to look for exits. They're actually challenging the players on site. And it seems like they actually went for it there. I feel like normally you'd want to just kind of hang around like on an off angle, right? When they have to exit and look for the kill there. Maybe get a rifle, save something for the next round, but little over aggression. They didn't have too much to lose though, right? So it's not the worst play in the world.
Taft in a really good spot. Up 3 here, 3 left with their attack. At worst, they're going to break even on attack here, Bind, and that is good news for them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure. This was actually Taft's map pick, right? Because they started on offense.
Yes.
But,
So definitely a comfort pick for them.
Yeah. But I believe most Valorant maps are defense favored, so getting 6 already. Very nice. It looks like the Sova ultimate, Hunter's Fury already being thrown down. Not really catching anyone, though.
Not an optimal use of that there.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of just used as a zoning ult, but zoning ults are less impactful in Valorant than other games. You want to more use that when you know where someone is and they're pinned.
Exactly. And Taft's just playing slow with this default setup, right? They're maintaining their mid control. Looks like they're scooting up on A short. Some utility being used by the Patriots. Got a nice Cypher cam angle here. Not much action. Setting up for this A hit. I think they've got a good read that there's only 2 players here. Most rounds.
Yeah, if they're going to move, they got to do it now, though they don't know that, of course. George Washington is very far over on B. Here they come. They know the rotation's there.
For a teleport.
Smoke's heaven.
30 seconds left.
Omen's not going to see anything when he walks in.
Done. Spike
Very risky Omen ult right into the middle of the site, too.
No kidding.
He's just taken down.
Corey, put the op down.
Yeah, he's doing really well in these like close range situations.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Oh,
that's pretty close.
Shot. Alex now with the 3K, 4K. I think they're gonna try and give him the ace. Let's see if he can do it here. Fields the Vandal. Phoenix is low. Gets it. And they give him the defuse. What a big round.
Nice.
Bow before me.
Alex is popping off. But that's what you said about the op. So interesting to me with the Corey's op is it's not like these traditional long distance, holding down heaven, looking down sightlines op shots. It's like you turn the corner and a Corey pops you.
Yeah, he has been. Normally if you're playing the op, you've taken the site, you're gonna fall back A short, you're gonna fall back to the bathrooms and play long angles. But yeah, he's playing close up. He's playing default. He's peeking some good angles. So really cool to see that from him. He's doing very well for himself so far. I think right now, what I've noticed is Taft take these offensive pushes a little too slow, right? They have good setup. They're able to get a good position on the map, but they just give their opponent way too much time to rotate. They don't actually get full control of the site, so that's why I think these rounds aren't going their way. Otherwise, it does look like they have a pretty good game plan. But here we go. Phoenix popping the ult. Flash goes down. He's going to be able to get one before he's traded off. And it looks like they're going to do the old switcheroo. They're going to teleport 3 men all the way over to that A site. Corey was already holding mid, so he knows that no one was rotating there for the flank. And now Patriots are on the back foot on this 4v4. Don't have control of site. Looking good for Taft so far. Although, Bird gets taken out from spawn. Nice push by Phoenix here, taking out 2 defenders. Only 1 left in a 1v3.
That turned around quick. That seemed like that was a George Washington fight there. Fig's going to turn the corner and find some heat.
Oh. Too much, though.
7-4 your score here. One more round before the switch. Going to be a lot of money spent. Ults on the table. George Washington just trying to hang in there and put as good a defense together as they can, but it has been rough sailing so far.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, for both of these teams, you know, if we're looking at the scoreboard here, the Patriots, really only Alex has shown up so far, so...
Yeah, talk about a carrot. Yeah, that is definitely worth noting. If they can start finding a way to shut him down, he's the only one even positive right now, but he is very positive. Corey, with the off shot we've seen a number of times. Here's another opportunity.
Yeah, pops the ult, so he does have a little bit more power in the close range. He misses, dashes back, drops the smoke. He's able to get out of that encounter, but he's just playing with the Cypher at this point. The rest of his team is playing B long with the Spike. Phoenix teleports through. I think they're trying to fake something here. The rest of his team is walking up long. I believe they get spotted there. They're kind of attacking 2 fronts at once, although the Spike is isolated now.
Bird camping, gets something out of it. Pwn goes down.
Yeah, but Bird's now in this random 1v2 on the B side of the site. Spike's down. The Patriots know it. Oh, this is so interesting. It's going to be a 2v2 on site for a short time here if Raze can rotate in time. Let's see. Sova can find this out. He does get the
30 seconds left.
Figs with a third. And now it's looking pretty good for the Patriots. The last 2 pushing up long. Cypher needs to rotate in time, but a good blind. And can Figs get the ace? He does.
Figs
nice
pops off.
Yep.
You love to see it from a Sova. It's usually a much more of a brawler that is going to be able to pull off those aces. Sova, usually an intel guy, backline, kind of lets you know what's going on, gets some good shots off, but this time gets right in everybody's face and takes 5 people down.
Yeah, and that round was just very scattered from Taft. They were attacking bathrooms and B long at the same time and ended up not really working out for them. And Figs showed up big. Were those his first 5 kills? I think he's 5 and 8, so I think that was
he was 0 and 8 of
1 round. Yep.
Where you been, Figs?
Hopefully he can put some numbers up this round. But switching sides now. Get that nice color coordination finally. Quite a few members spotted from the Patriots on this long push. I think they hear no rotates over yet from Taft. Slow on the rotate. They're just moving now, but all 5 players are on site. And the Patriots pushing through, getting a nice pick into the back line and another on site. So this is a very solid take.
Spike planted.
I wonder if this is any indication of what the rest of this game is going to be like, because we saw how strong Taft was on offense. And on a defensively oriented map, you know, are they going to play aggressive defense? Are they going to continue the momentum? I'm really interested to see what these teams are like on the opposite side.
Yeah, and this should be a pretty tough retake.
Paradox.
A lot of damage. Yeah. Bird finding 1. Sees Sova on site. Oh, and he just gets popped by Rise. Closing out the round. Nice 2K. But yeah, I think overall it's just a good take by the Patriots. They got on site quick, which is something we didn't really see Taft do. They took it a little more slow and controlled, but those quick takes can be very strong if your defenders fall. I'm interested. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just confused by it. Taft didn't rotate. I guess with the long B control you can always teleport, but they had 3 on A site and no one moved, so a little slow there. 6-7 is the score, so if Patriots can take this Pulse around and turn it into 2 or 3 rounds, then they'll actually have the lead going into the second half.
Yeah, and maybe both teams being as aggressive as they are will make what are normally defensively favored maps offensive favored maps just because of who we have playing today.
Mm-hmm.
Time will tell. Smoke gone, and so is he.
Spike planted.
Yeah, and this is how those anti-eco rounds should look,
Yep.
Taft didn't have too much economy. Looks like they're going for some shorties on the exit. Catch someone out, overextending. Here they go, pushing through. Jet goes in. Not able to get the shot off.
Commanding victory there to tie our rounds up 7-7. First to 6 now.
Yeah,
both teams.
teams.
Or as the case of the Glenwood Von Steuben match, perhaps it'd be first to 10.
Oh, this is a nice spot. This goes here.
Certainly a candidate for an overtime match thus far.
Yeah, it's looking close. Taft's economy not doing too hot after they buy into this round, and even if Patriots lose, they'll still have a good buy. So
finally, we have a Patriot that is at least 500 on their KD now. Still all Alex. He's been the hard carry thus far. Everybody else is either even or under. And then Taft, on the other hand, has kind of shared the wealth. So 2 different performance styles. George Washington's been all Alex so far, though.
Pretty aggressive B push coming in from the Patriots. And like I said, if they can win this round, that could be a big swing in terms of the pace of this game. A couple players stuck back site. Jet's going to jump over and get one. Gets the second in the smoke as well, and the rest are rotating
Spike
through
planted.
CT. It's another 3v5 situation, and Taft too slow on the rotate. Full control of the site over to the Patriots. Only Jet low.
Player standing.
Oh, no.
Flawless.
Rise has a great round trying to do something about that KD. Does not want to give Alex all the fun. He gets a few. He added 4 that round, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and that's worst case scenario here for Taft. Not only did they lose all of their players, lose the round, they didn't take a single one down off the Patriots, so they're going to keep banking all of those sweet credits. That's what it is in Valorant, right? Credits, something like that. And losing the round themselves, they're going to go ahead, pick up those sheriffs, looking to at least damage the economy, probably not win the round, but who knows? We've seen rounds with less win already this game. Flash out mid.
That's a big pick early on there.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do too much, though. I have a feeling the Patriots are going to be able to close this one out pretty cleanly now, but we'll see.
Yeah, the come from behind bonus is not going to really be impactful at this stage yet.
Nice pre-firing. Corner there.
Corey,
There's
too many
opportunity.
people.
Oh. That's always tough when there's like 2 people that run over your screen at the
Spike
same time,
planted.
right? You crosshair can't pick one in a second. But last 2 people coming from spawn here, not much realistically they're going to be able to do.
Shadows traveling.
Going to be neat around this
Take it
corner.
out. There we go. Bird finds one. You can see the sight lines.
Yeah,
go.
they all know he's there.
They're
Goodbye.
trained in there.
George Washington, all the momentum in the world right now. Taft has got to have a hero round. Somebody's got to do something. They've been less, I think, pretty consistently the rounds they're winning are the ones that a Corey's getting the shots off with the op, and that's not happening because they're totally broke.
Yeah. Well, Taft
Right here.
will get a buy off here, but it's that same vicious cycle where, you have to full buy.
I'll find them.
You're down to a couple hundred. If you lose, you have to save. So every round that the Patriots win here basically turns into 2. And when you're at 9, it's a little scary, right? That only gives you about 2 more rounds.
I think I'm actually very surprised. Atori almost was going to save for op next round, but probably got talked out of it by their team because very late finally made a purchase.
And some aggressive pushes here coming onto the A site.
I know
Not sure if anyone was expecting this, but we've only traded 1 for 1. Jet on the flank does get spotted by the trap, so they know that she's looking for a
Spike
flank.
planted.
Takes out Bird.
Donatello gets one.
Yeah.
Gotta turn it around here. Gotta make a play, guys. Hero moment for someone. Otherwise, this is gonna be hard to come back from. There's gonna be a
Think they're
big
just
difference
waiting.
between 10-7 and
Yeah.
8-8. Or
Jet
9-8.
rotated back around. They're gonna start pushing in now, smoking off bathrooms. They find
One enemy
Cypher.
remaining.
Oh, but he's not able to line up the shots on Paradox, and that's a 3K for him so far in the round. Carnacity moving in. Gets Omen, but they're just gonna play this slow. In a 1v2 situation, it's not enough time for him to win the round, and he's gonna
He's
back
gonna
off.
bail and hide.
Yep.
And what
Well
choice does he
played there.
have?
Yeah, well played there by the Patriots. Understanding that all they need to do to win is leave, right, and not take the fights, give him an opportunity. So that's another good thing you like to see. Just the presence of mind to close out these free rounds.
Yep. 10-7. This is a daunting task for the Eagles now.
Yeah.
Patriots
got a
got
little
all
bit
the
of a
weapons they need.
bank.
They've got all the money they need.
Yeah, Taft is going for like a half buy here. So instead of just full saving, they'll have enough money next round to get rifles. So I'm not too concerned about that. They're taking long range fights here on long. I'm not sure that's what you want to be doing with the SMGs. Donatello's going to pay for it. There's a full A hit too. Got 3 long. Rise is going to find Cypher through the wall there. Bird solo on site against 5, 2. Much to
Spike
handle.
planted.
We're in another 2v5 situation. I feel like this is how all of the offensive rounds for the Patriots have gone. Their site takes have just been too clean, and
That's the story. It's just been early picks, and then Taft digs himself such a hole they just can't get out of it. I mean, at some point, George Washington's a good enough player that it's not going to matter.
One enemy remaining.
you know, being the defensive side, you at least need to trade 1 for 1 so that your retake friends have a chance. But this is a big disadvantage here for a Corey. We'll see what he can do. He's gonna maybe go for some picks. No, he's watching his back here. Probably best to go ahead and save the rifle. But you can see Rhea rotating around A quick. They're hunting him. They do not want him to live. Alex is on the prowl.
Yeah, they're not going to find him.
I think
Although
they're
she
actually
might.
pretty close to running into each other here.
He turned around and got the last pick.
Gets him at the
Corey.
last second. Not going to make a
greenness did not pay
huge
off.
difference in the grand scheme of things, but
Right.
adds the KDA a little bit.
11-7.
I need this.
2 more rounds, but unfortunately, if Taft lose this one, their money is bad.
Yeah, if they lose, they have full scent on needing to win this round.
Yep.
Corey's got the op. The armor's
up.
there. They have nothing. If they have to win here and then still win with a disadvantage.
Exactly. They need to win out the Met from here, so. See what they can do. A Corey with an aggressive position. Misses the first shot, taking down the 30. Phoenix runs out before he can pull his gun out.
This one gets 2.
Actually,
Looks like it's mostly paying off so
making a
far.
move. 3v3. Not too bad in the grand scheme of things. But they're full rotating over to this B site. They know it's only 1 player. 2 HP, he's trapped. He's found an angle on him.
Oh.
And the shots.
Unlucky.
Both players from Taft coming through CT here.
Nowhere to run!
Oh no. Okay, Sova not doing too much.
Sova with virtually no health. They just need to breathe on him.
And I think Rise just tried to sneaky there in front of
One enemy
Eagles.
remaining.
popping the ult. He is able to get 1. Can they get the guy in hookah? They know he's there. Smoke's down.
He's going to have to come through. Pros don't fake. Halfway to
First
the
hit.
Got
And they
him.
get him on the jump.
A huge round there for Taft to stay alive. They still need 1 more for sure, maybe 2 more to have any kind of econ help here. But at this point, you know, you've got what you got. You got to do what you can with it. Corey does manage to keep the op, which seems to be a big determinant factor in how these fights go. That early pick that Corey gets with the op. Our sanity trying to decide what to do with only 2,900.
Yeah, something interesting. Both of these teams a little top heavy. They have like one player that's really standing above the rest. But I just feel like Alex has had slightly more impact this game. And I think the Patriots have been a little more coordinated. Pushing up A short now. Oh, he used the AWP to take out the leader there, so they know that he has to retreat.
Deploying
Some
drone.
ground being taken now by the Patriots. Four of them up A short. This time Taft has rotated accordingly. They have 4 people now on the B site.
Shadows traveling.
Patriots kind of sensing this out. I think they just burned a lot of utility and they know that. They're walking back slowly now towards the B site. And no one from
5 more
Taft.
seconds walking in this direction. They're going to have an advantage here. But
Yeah.
now the Jet's going to roll back. Will
They
the
will
other Eagles
run.
roll back?
They will probably hit the site for tripwire. But yeah, like you said, Jet is cheating over, so at least they'll have more.
Sova doing just enough apparently to keep 3 people on A, but it's not going to matter in just a second. Yep, now they see him. Yes, here they come.
Camera there.
Damn it.
And the Patriots, I wonder if they're going to take teleporter here. Paradox finds one.
There they go.
They're doing it. They're teleporting back. Yep. They're playing a game of cat and mouse here. 30 seconds. They have
left.
enough time to get the plant. And now you can see Taft is completely out of position. Showstopper through the teleporter. Not going to find anyone. Fun little move.
Paradox to the plant. And
Spike
gets the spike
planted.
planted.
Patriots with the around the world strat. Pushing A, falling back to B, going through teleporter back to A. And now it's a 5v3 situation again. They always find themselves in this almost
5v3,
exact
but
same
Cypher
situation.
and Reyna both very weak and just need to get, spit at, and they're going to go down.
There it is. There's the first one.
Oh, Biggs with the
Biggs.
double shot. 2 for 1, but the trade's coming in.
Phoenix from heaven. You can see those sight lines again. Finds one. He plays the angle
Oh,
smartly.
man.
Biggs showing up big.
Almost popped
Match
off.
point.
And for Taft, that might be the final nail in the coffin. You can see the money here. We're going to get some classics. Some shotguns, some light armor. Too much is going to be able to come out of this buy, so they're going to have to play very some cheeky angles, maybe some aggressive plays, try and catch them off guard. But so far, Patriots have been playing slow and controlled, but when they need to, they strike fast. So
Yeah, they do seem to take intelligent risks, is how I would characterize the things they're doing.
Begins.
Bomb buddy out.
There we go.
pushing up long. Okay, no raises here. Spamming through the Cypher wall. And here we go. Yep, you can see Taft full rotating. 2 people on the flank fast.
Blocking sight.
One's gonna jump into the site. These 2. He's in a weird
I know
spot.
exactly where.
Yeah, 1 for 1. This is gonna get sloppy. This is exactly what Taft
Spike
needs to
planted.
take the round. Let's see what they can do with it. And there we go. It's a 3v2 situation. 2 coming out of Puka. Just spotted
player
now
remaining.
on the flank. And Bird with the
Bird, have
3K
a round.
on the site.
Blocking sight.
I don't know if they know where Cypher is, but they're gonna just have the bomb.
They know where
Biggs
Bird
gets
is.
1. Oh, he's sticking the defuse.
Yeah, he was just hoping he hit him.
Yep.
Nicely done. The defuse win. Is that our first defuse win of the game? No.
There's been a couple, but yeah, that was how Taft need to play those rounds. They actually bought themselves a lifeline here. They have almost a full buy now. So if they
Not
can
quite
do
the
that,
armor they want, but
yeah, if they can do that with less economy, you'd try and believe that they can do it with a better, full rifles. But we'll
yeah,
see.
and when they were down before, now we're in a situation. If they win this round, suddenly George Washington has an econ problem.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, suddenly this is going to feel very different. Obviously, George Washington just needs 1 more to take our first map, but if Taft does, it seems like a pretty dramatic shift in how this game is going to play out.
Yeah, Taft changing their defensive setup a little bit. Omen sending over a smoke to help the B site. He's actually rotating early. I think Jet is calling out that the Patriots are
over.
leaning A pretty heavily. And this is a big
drone.
hookah push. Here comes a grenade. Let's see how much damage that can do. Not too much, but... Players and
Oh, a
George
nice shot
Washington.
by Alex.
There it is. A nice entry onto the site. Smoke will go down again. Slowing the push. And
Did
that
a
might
Corey
be-
have her ult?
Corey has
Not
ult,
quite.
right?
I don't. One of the jets I think does. One of the jets it does not.
Oh no, yeah, Corey does not.
Does
So I was
not.
looking at the wrong jet. But Patriots moving back towards the A site. 4 men strong pushing in.
Rise
And
gets
just getting the plan.
down.
Spike
Now they
planted.
don't know yet that Phoenix is in bathrooms, but the way they're playing from A short, it actually doesn't really matter. He's gonna start pushing out now. Maybe he will catch someone off guard. He's playing it nice and slow, waiting for his team to rotate. For the teleporter, but there we go.
That's
Bird getting
huge.
exposed.
Bird, who's been doing so well the last couple rounds, is now not going to be in this fight. That is a
One
big loss for
player
Taft. The
remaining.
trades come in, but not in the way of Taft. Oh my gosh!
Phoenix.
I thought he was going to get him.
Attackers win.
Nice lineup, but
Back to my workshop.
3 people
much
with
to be
1
done.
spray is tough.
It's a
even
lot to
with the
ask for.
Phantom. Yeah.
Oh man, but he almost did it too. That tracking and spray pattern knowledge was beautiful there. So good. 13-9 first game. So dominated by one player on both teams.
Yeah. They definitely, both teams definitely have a champion leading them into battle. Not to say anyone else did too bad themselves, but a few that stand above the rest. And I think in terms of like just coordination, and not even being coordinated, but like patience and knowing when to pull the trigger. And then once the trigger's pulled, they commit really hard. I think the Patriots did a really good job of that. They looked a little cleaner than Taft on the offense after we saw both sides, and that was a big difference maker. I think Taft had the potential. It looked like they played it well, but they were just a little too slow onto the site takes, maybe waiting for a mistake from George Washington, and they weren't giving it, or who knows. But
yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, we're going to take a quick few-minute break here to get our lobby finished up, to get our casters a quick break for drinks. We'll be right back with map 2. We are going to Ascent for map 2, and we'll bring you the action. George Washington up 1-0 after game 1. See you soon. Welcome back, everybody. We're here for map 2 of this George Washington Taft matchup. It is going to be Ascent this time. George Washington took the victory on Bind in a relatively close match. It was at 6-6 at trade, or was it 7-5? I don't remember. It was very close. And it ended with basically the momentum and the econ just going way in the favor of George Washington and then riding that momentum all the way to the map victory. Coach Bruce, what are you looking to see if you're Taft here? What do you need to make adjustment-wise to improve what happened the first game?
I'd like to see just a stronger start. I think they're gonna. Oh no, they're actually starting on defense here, right? So on this map, I think the issue last map was they were just a little bit too hesitant with their plays. I want to see them make more decisive plays. The rounds where, they were low econ and they had to like put a lot more thought into how they wanted to play it. Those were their best rounds, right? So I want to see them do that when they have full equipment. I want to see them look for maybe more unique plays or more aggressive plays, and get a little bit more action.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I like to stress with my team about Valorant is, it doesn't matter whether you're playing a team that's very good, a team that's very bad, what map you're on, what your econ's like. At some point, the core of this game is the ability to communicate, do the simple mechanics right, and be smart with your rotations and creative with them at times. And I think that what you said, Taft was winning when given the chance to do that. But George Washington is so aggressive that Taft a lot of times like, oh my gosh, here they come. What do we do? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, George Washington definitely had just a more solid foundation, it looked like. They definitely have someone who's stepping up as their IGL. Looked like their movements around the map were very coordinated. It never felt like... Actually, I can only remember one round where it felt like they kind of lost control on offense. So... and that was actually Taft's map pick last round. So this is going to be George Washington's map pick. Already up 1-0 in the series. You'd expect them to close it out based on the results from last time, but obviously we never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's anyone's game. I mean, that Glenwood match we mentioned earlier, Glenwood got crushed in game 1 and then came back in game 2, won it barely, and then 17-15. So game 1 may or may not have anything to do with what we're about to see in this one.
Yep.
4 seconds left. Seeing like we're going to get the same agents we got last time for the most part. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Donatello the Rays last game instead of Phoenix? Or am I crazy? Probably crazy.
No, you're right. Yeah, they did switch it up. Maybe that's what they
chatted about.
Yeah.
Ascent, I think a map that has a lot of strong opinions. People tend to love Ascent or hate Ascent. Since I'm only good at one thing in this game, which is holding down the sight lines with ops, I love Ascent.
There you go.
But past that, this is a map where I think mid controls the name of the game, and if you control mid on Ascent, you pretty much get to dictate how the round is going to develop. And so look for these teams to be trying to take that middle area and hold it down, particularly on defense.
I 100% agree. Looks like Patriots are lining up for an early B rush, maybe.
Got to be careful though. With the Sova is the one waiting for them there, and he will find them out.
Yeah, Sova Rays, a lot of AoE. They do push. Like, see, he's got the dart lined up for this as well. Could be devastating. We're about to find out in 1 second here. Both Sovas trading the darts.
I know now. That was a good offensive dart. Corey is still not even sure where it was at. All right, hard rush coming in for B. They take a look at B Heaven here. Can they find anybody? They are about to. Turn the corner, buddy. Corey drops. So does I always hesitate to say the name because I want to mess it up.
Call it Rays.
Rays, fair enough. But George Washington is the one in the driver's seat here for the first round. Oh, Sanity just can't get a shot down.
Yeah, and something to point out there on that push. Patriots took the site using all their utility, and then each of them went to a very specific spot. So I think, I think that was actually
by design.
Yeah, exactly. It's very coordinated. Each of them had a certain angle probably to hold. And it really showed there. They all played it accordingly. They held their angles. They stayed in their spots. And so it's stuff like that, right? Where even if you're evenly skilled across the board, if the enemy team has better team play, it's not going to look like it. And that was a very good pistol round from the Patriots.
Absolutely.
Kind of keeping up what we've seen from round 1. But now we have guns. 5 people contesting mid. Smoked off is Taft. And here we go, up catwalk. Bird gets 1. He's going to be able to TP out. I don't know if he's going to be able to get on the corner in time. He does. Closes the door on them. Already blown up. He's caught in the corner. George Washington stampeding onto this site. Oh, Cypher actually finding one. Maybe a little close. Donatello gets 1 too. It's now oh no.
Yeah.
Not going well for George Washington.
Taft not giving this one up yet.
Yeah.
Like you said,
Diffused.
this was a pick by George Washington that's coming to ascent here. We saw that first push. They probably had plans for each point, but that time the plan was hyper aggressiveness, and a great play put a stop to that.
Yeah, my issue with how they played that is when you go up catwalk and the enemy team is ecoed, you're playing into their strength, right? You're playing into their short range. When you plant behind the generator there, you're just asking the classics and the shorties to run into you. I think a better play might have been to just go A long and play your range advantage, right? You can plant out in the open,
Somebody out.
and you can fall back to the angle, but they played it a little close and personal, and they paid for it there. So 1-1 is the score. Going back to this B push, it looks like. I'm kind of curious, being
Revealing area.
the Patriots map pick, their pushes, like, and how they're taking map control doesn't seem as coordinated as the other map.
Yeah, and
they're
I wonder if
kind
the
of-
fans have anything to do with that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
man map,
interested as
they
well.
were split Icebox, split a map that a lot of people like, so maybe that would have been the pick.
Mhm.
Ascent, I think, like I mentioned at the onset, it's just kind of that map that everybody's like, yeah, we know how to play Ascent. You know what I mean? Like, we've been playing it forever.
Exactly. Yeah. They're getting a little bit of map movement in here, but they didn't have any control, so they have to play it slow here. 3v5 now. They've gotten picked off during this rotate. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's going to be impossible.
And
There
there
it
we
is.
go. Yeah. Cypher, good utility usage. Taking down 2.
This is definitely more defensive map, at least in my experience. So Taft needing to have the higher score as we go into the switch here, and so far they're putting that down.
Agreed. Yeah, this is more of a standard map, right? Before we had the teleporters, you don't really have mid. You could argue that, like, on the previous map, A short is kind of the mid
Right.
area.
And that's why that mid control here is so important, because mid control is the only way you can be unpredictable. It's going to take a while to get from a B push to an A push here.
Yeah, and it looks like, there we go, Bird putting his foot down from Cat. Nice spray through the wall. And I'm not really sure what the Patriots plan to do here. They're just kind of contesting Cat from that long range position. Sova's going to go ahead and scout out where the mid players are at. They see one. About to spot the second. So they know there's 2 mid, potentially 1 Cat. They're kind of lurking up behind their smokes. Doing things by the book now, but they had to lose a player early in the round before they started playing Discipline, so slight disadvantage.
Patriots seem to be doing something my former Overwatch captain called the wiggle, where they kind of move forward, but then they move right back. They're just not being decisive with where to go. And it's weird because when they are decisive, they're like steamrolling into a point. But right now, they're like, do we go? I don't know. Do we go? I don't know.
Yeah,
they go now.
I guess so.
Spike
Bird
planted.
found 1 pick, but it looks like Patriots find one on their own on the A site. And double smokes down the Molly as well. All 3 players, or sorry, 3 of the 4 players from Eagles rotating through Heaven here.
Revealing area.
Omen on the flank. He's low HP.
Satchel out.
See what they can do. Looks like the push is going to happen right now.
Nice shot, but it's big.
Oh, and a huge play from McCory getting the spray down through the platform there. And nice retake.
Thanks.
That looked a lot more coordinated from Taft.
Yep, absolutely.
Be
They're
fair,
finally talking. And
not fleet.
like we talked about, you made this comment, and I think it's sort of manifesting. When Taft is given a chance to talk, they're better. And George Washington is pushing so slowly right now that it's giving Taft a chance to say, hey, when they go here, we'll do this, or we think they're moving here. And the coordination is definitely improved for the Eagles when they are able to take time. George Washington's got to keep it aggressive if they want to put their foot down here.
Yeah, and I'd like to see George Washington approach from multiple angles right now. You can see again, they're just going along. They're not putting pressure on these B players. They're not burning utility like they did on the other map. So we'll see how this A push goes. They haven't done this yet at the start of a round. Cypher is set up though, and last time they ran into it, he got a 2K. Smoke goes down. Really good timing there from the Omen.
Cage trigger.
Looks like here comes the hit. All 5 players going through A main. Hunter's Fury going down, picking up the other Sova.
Way better use of the Sova ult that time.
Yeah.
Taft getting the picks going their way. Door gets shut.
Yeah, spike drops.
There can only be one hero.
Defenders will take the round here. Nice hold. Yeah, I'm not really... It's so interesting to me because the Patriots looked so good on the other map, and it was Taft's pick. And now that it's their pick, their offense does not look as coordinated at all. They had a good pistol round, but it doesn't feel like to me they understand how to play out these rounds. Here we go again. They're just 5-man stacked on the B site. They're just going to try and keep brute forcing this round after round. I don't know how well it's going to work for them.
The hunt begins.
Going up.
Comes the push. A lot of utility drops. They're taking a lot of damage in this corridor, and it seems like they're backing up. They're kind of giving up the push. Players from Taft are going to rotate, and it's not looking good again. Losing 2 players super early in the round. They have no map control.
I wish this was something we would have thought to keep track of ahead of time so I could confirm this, but I have a hunch in the eyeball test that the team that gets the first pick is a very high percentage winning with these teams. And I think that's a product of how aggressive they're both playing, at least how aggressive George Washington was playing. But the last 2 rounds, Taft gets that early pick, and then it's just the numbers swarming that these both teams tend to do.
Yeah, and they're not making it any easier on themselves. They are actually able to sneak through and get this plant. Not sure.
And a pick by Pone.
Yeah, so nice start, but Corey finds one for himself. It's a 2v4, and both players are kind of pigeonholed into this back site. They might wait for Omen to rotate over. No, it looks like they're just going to go straight for the push. They know there's only a couple spots they can be. They find them both. Another good round. It's actually surprising they even got the plant in, but good on George Washington.
It was aggressive. It was what's the word? Yeah, it was and I can't think of the word that's coming to mind. Ambitious plant is what it was.
Definitely, but you know, sometimes the risk reward. Attack shooters, they always have that timing. You look away for 1 second and the player sneaks through, so
Yep.
that manifesting itself.
But this starting to get out of hand here.
Yeah, 5-1. Like we mentioned, though, this map is a little more defensive sided, I would argue. And here we go. George Washington maybe playing it a little differently. They're going to go ahead and smoke the cat as the barrier drops. This is good. This is a good start. Right, they have a couple players going out mid, playing it slow, but Kurt, I think the Sova Dart finds the pick, and Donatello follows up. Now we have players from George Washington running up mid. Not expected, it looks like. He's also not able to finish the kill. Owen drops in, gets one for himself. Rise gets one too. Now we're in a 3v3. Patriots finally have that mid control, so a lot better position for them just from playing through mid. And now you can see the advantage, right? You have 3 players in the middle of the map. And they're going to play it slow. Corey actually finds one. Omen not playing it slow. If he had just waited for his team to rotate, see, that's what you're kind of waiting for.
Area.
These 2 to get through B main, and then you can make that play. But he went a little too early. Corey now gets another one.
I know exactly where you are.
Spike planted.
Spike will go down. The blind misses. He's not able to line it up in time. And that round went a lot better for the Patriots.
Yeah, I had a problem with the way they rotated. When you had that mid control, they gave up all the space in the world by deciding to rotate back and then towards B, and that's fine. But you got to wait on that push to provide them cover. You just walked forward by yourself. They weren't there yet, and you got lit up by 2 Eagles.
Yeah, even though you had mid control, right? If 2 players are going B main, the player in mid needs to just wait, right? He's either listening for footsteps, but he can't be the aggressor there. Because like we saw, if he dies, no more mid control.
This is a nice spot.
They started with the right idea. It looks like they're going to continue playing that way, or at least I'd hope. I think that's their best bet, though. There's only 5 rounds left on this half. Running out mid. Not the best equipment this round either.
Satchel up.
It looks like they do have decent control. Catwalk. Figs finds a nice headshot.
Figs gets the smoke happened just as he looked down the sight. He probably thought the sight was broken.
Yeah, and it looks like the Patriots have found a little bit of a hole in the armor here. They've been able to get all 4 players onto site. Smoker's down in heaven. Oh.
Spike planted.
Hoping for the best there.
Yeah, not able to find a kill, but he does get a little bit of poke damage down. And Taft just kind of pigeonholed themselves into heaven here.
Still only a 3v4 though, so I think this next pick is who wins this fight.
Yeah, Patriots still do have a disadvantage in terms of equipment. It might be a little too slow here.
Joke's over.
Hello.
He's running in. Yeah, they find 2. Oh, they didn't check under. He's gonna get 1. He'll get sprayed down. And then Phoenix trades 1 as well while the enemy's distracted. I don't know if there's enough time on the bomb. There's not. He will go down. Here we go, an eco round on the Patriots, and all they did was they just ran up mid that round. Like, they didn't do anything crazy. They got mid control again with their pistols. It's interesting, like the psychology behind that, where when you're at a disadvantage, you put more effort into how to play the rounds, right? Like a little more strategy, and then when you have the full buy, you just kind of like do a simple plan, right? You'd think it would be the other way around, right? But
well, that's just what I said earlier. If you go into every round with that mentality of the thinking mentality every time, then that's what you have to do. Because if you don't consistently do that, then when you're under pressure, you will not do it.
Agree. Yeah, and unfortunately, it feels like you have to kind of learn to play that way. Well, actually, here we go. This is a good take. I like this. Moving very aggressive. 4 people up cat. Yeah. Getting a good foothold on the site. And they're just going to walk right in. Cypher doesn't even know he's getting flanked out. It's not going to matter. But a very nice push. Maybe seeing... Oh, 2-man from a quarry with the Hunter's Fury. I think he actually denied the plant as well. Good use of the ult. Kind of predicting where your opponent's going to be. Hello sees 1, a main.
There they are.
Drops right onto the Rhea though. Not expecting that.
Get out of here.
They'll get traded out. They know there's 1 main. They missed the guy generator though. This is a tough spot here for Raze.
Enemy remaining.
Birdie runs through the smoke. They help out now. 1v2. Smoked off. But now the Hunter's Fury from Figs gonna come out. Showstopper goes wide. But Phantom able to finish off that player, and it looks like they'll get the defuse.
The spike is defused.
The 1 round George Washington was able to pull off is not going to turn into momentum quite yet. Looking at our econs here, Taft in better position for sure. They got the full armor and still plenty of money to go around. And they just, I don't know. It just seems like they're more comfortable here at Ascent.
Yeah, I would agree. And you know, this map is hard on offense. I think the Patriots are kind of figuring it out as they go. The early rounds were a little one-dimensional, and as I say that, they're 5-man stacking towards the B site. So we'll watch and see how that goes. Yeah, they're committed.
find some action here is Alex, but gonna back up. They're gonna get out of here instead. They did not like how much CC was coming in there.
Yeah, lots of utility burned, not a lot of damage put down, so at least Patriots
Oh,
have
wait.
that going for them.
I think they were faking the rotate, although Sova and Cypher are going on a journey here, and now they're finally going to get joined. I don't think the rest of them really knew what was up. The communication perhaps needed to go down. They did lose one. Their Reyna's gone. Oh, if they push A now, they've got it. Yeah, right now. Oh, the bird.
I know
You
exactly.
can't do anything.
where
Now they
you
have an
are.
opportunity to go there, but the Cypher ult's going to come online.
Joke's
They know they're
over.
on A. Here
You're
we
dead.
go.
Spike planted.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Phoenix ult gets burned immediately. If only he knew!
Standing.
Oh,
Three-man
Rise!
spray down.
With the Phoenix ult.
And there
No
it is.
risk, high reward with that Phoenix ult. They just couldn't put him down.
Yeah, that's the issue with retaking on a site is if you go heaven, right? It's that easy. You know, Rise had them lined up, held mouse one, sprayed them down. It's such a tight choke, and you can spray through the walls. Even it's really hard to retake from CT.
Keep looking at this leaderboard for a second. The story of the difference between map 1 and map 2? Alex. Alex is mid-fragging right now, 5 and 8. And last round was near, like, the vast majority of eliminations coming in for the Patriots. He is not having a good game. Meanwhile, the Eagles, 4 of them are positive. So they're still sharing the wealth like they were before. But as I mentioned, the story of George Washington round 1 was Alex. And they've managed to shut him down for one reason or another here. And they're just not doing it yet.
Yeah, Patriots finding a good pick in mid. They're gonna start creeping in. This is a good take, right? You have the opposing team split 2-2, no matter which way you push it. 5 versus 2 on both sides. Here they come through the wall. Alex popping the ultimate, making sure he wants that
Player
duel.
standing.
Taking out a Corey, and then Alex taking out the rotator. Cypher stuck in a 1v5 situation, fighting Alex at this long range. Not going to work out for him. And that was a good round.
Last
A
round
couple
before the
updates on
half.
scores for those around the league right now. Jones College Prep has beaten Niles North 13-0 the first round and 13-11 the second round. That was an interesting one. Plainfield North beats Salem 2-0, 13-2, 13-2. Those are a couple scores coming up, and Springfield looks to be about ready to fall to York 2-0 as well after a close first game, second one less close. So yeah, that Jones Niles North one, that is something. Niles North is a team that is very scary right now in Valorant, and to fall to 13-0 in the first game, that is not what I expected to see.
Yeah. Even if you have a 12-0 half, the pistol rounds are always even, so it's tough to get the 13-0 sometime, but
Yep. In any
Good
case,
on
we're back to
them.
the action here with Taft and
Yep.
George Washington. 7-4, a lot closer than it was 2 rounds ago. The difference between 7-4 and 9-2 is significant.
yeah. And this mid push does get scouted out. They saw 2 or 3 players going up cat with the Sova drone. They have lost a player though, so it's going to be important that they get to this A site before the push comes in. It looks like they will do that. They're full rotating. And Birdie finds one pushing through the connector. Second one, Phoenix taking a bit of damage through the Cypher traps. Doing a lot of work. Nice headshot there. And the bomb is going to be dropped behind Generator.
I've been watching too much Mandalorian when that painting and underneath heaven here looks like Baby Yoda to me at first glance. Hey, heaven, rather.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
30
lots of
seconds
health
left.
inside of
Last
Washington.
player
There's
standing.
a lot more health now.
Yep, and now in a 1v4. Oh, Raze coming out fast
Yes.
onto Cat with the Odin.
There's your
Soaring
first half.
through the air.
Switching sides.
+4 on defense for the Eagles. Now he switched the defensive sided map, looking to try to George Washington looking to try to take advantage of that. But man, they're down right now. I asked this before we started the second game. I said, what can Taft do to turn things around? They've done it. If you're George Washington, what's the key to success here as we move forward?
Yeah, it's always tough starting on offense, especially on these the maps that are defense sided. So we'll see. You know, it's important that George Washington win this pistol and start strong so they can pull the score back. I think if they take the pistol and they show what they did in last map, just like some solid team play, I think they'll be able to pull the game back pretty quick, but we'll see. Looks like they're starting off with a nice
No more
split here.
charges left.
2-1-2 default setup, getting some nice control of mid and a long. We'll see where they go here. Alex taking out the door early, something we don't see too often, but a good play nonetheless. Now that can't be used against them if they lose the site.
I'm really interested where this
destroyed.
plant's going to go right now. I don't think they know yet. It looks like it's going to go A now, though.
Paradox lining up 2. That's going to be huge.
Ooh.
Putting the Patriots in a really good spot. Alex playing close range with the classic. Deadly.
Nice skin on that gun there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
One enemy remaining.
Fight's going down in the mid. It looks like the Patriots are just winning everything that's being given to them right now. Pushing aggressively up cat now with the ghost. Alex gets the 5th kill. Flawless defense in that pistol round.
A good start if they were looking to turn things around here.
Yeah.
I think this match is going to get a lot closer before we're done. I just have a
I
feeling
would
this is
agree.
gonna
I
be a tight
think the
one.
Patriots are going to be able to pull it back to 8-8 here pretty quick. Taft did have a good default setup. I think maybe pushing through a main, they just weren't able to trade that Cypher kill off. If they're able to go 1-for-1 there and get on the site, it's a lot different of a round, but that Cypher 2-for-0 coming up huge. Looks like a full-on B push coming in. They will get scouted out, and the Odin is going to go through the wall, deterring them for a couple seconds now.
Watching here.
No one rotating over yet.
If they're going to make a B push, gosh, it just hurts to watch as a spectator because we see what we wish they knew, and they got to go, guys. You got to go now.
There we go. It's spotted out. The wall's down. Everyone from Taft pushing into the site. They'll get one. Not falling yet. There's the first 2 as they keep the
Spike
stairs.
planted. One enemy
Flash
remaining.
coming in, gonna be huge from Riot. The Patriots with a clean retake. Cypher stuck in this back site. Can't imagine he'll last long. Maybe going for a knife there almost.
It felt like
Really
Taft
getting
kind
a
of
little
threw
close.
that because, I mean, obviously they had numbers. They don't fully know that. But just the way that they were trying to prevent that retake, they just kept lining up and walking on the staircase for him. I mean, it made me think of that Star Wars quote, to line them up, knock them down. Like, they just, like, that's all they were doing, just follow the leader into their deaths.
Yeah, once they had a clean site take, and once you're there, the B site is pretty close angles, right? So if you have that classic, if you have the frenzy, you want to just stick to those close angles, like we saw Alex do in the pistol round, right?
Right.
You want to play those corners,
Let's go.
people out. But you're right. After they got the bomb down, they were trying to maybe take too much ground. They pushed up a little far.
Well, B site at Ascent in particular, just because there's like a million things to hide behind. I mean, the middle of the point has a big block to hide. There's that room in the back. There's different levels. I mean, it's inexcusable to be all facing the same direction on B here.
Yeah.
So the drone looking for some information. Not gonna get it.
I do like, though, how Taft is playing these early rounds, even though they haven't gone their way. And there we go, Bird finding a pick in mid. But they're doing a good job of maintaining control over all points of the map until later, right? So now it looks like they're going to group up maybe and go towards this A site. A couple players up cat. So I like how they're approaching these rounds. It just hasn't worked out for them yet. They know Cypher's here.
Yeah, they do.
Just trying to spam him through the site as the team rotates over. If they can take him out, especially through the box, that'll be huge. Both Cypher cameras used on the A site, looking at each other.
Yeah, they all
Here we
know
go,
they're
here's the
there.
push.
It's spicy.
Yep, the blind is going to go down. Cypher caught out, so now 3v4.
Spike planted.
Alex in a bit of a predicament, but he
But he
finds the
gets
kill on
shot.
Donatello.
Hello.
And now it's a 3v3.
Donatello's got to be frustrated. That was long distance.
Here he takes about to come in.
Oh, he sees it. He sees it. Oh, you got to
Player
push the issue.
remaining.
Bird with a couple of his own. Not ready roll
player
over yet.
remaining.
Alex, I think this is the ace. There it is. He
Nice.
does it again.
Bird and Alex,
Both
the last ones
games.
left. They've
Yep.
been the ones carrying this map so far. Well,
Ace.
this match, rather. Ace for Alex, though. He's back in true form. Let's look at the leaderboard and see where he's at now. He's finally retaken that top fragging spot. 17 and 10, a little bit more like we saw last map. And again, Taft, I mean, almost all equal in what their KDAs are right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Bird showing up good here for the Patriots. Having a good just a good start to the map for himself. But Alex, you know, he was 12 and 10 before, and now he's pushed his way to the top with that ace. Very well played from him, playing all the angles very well, getting some nice headshots. Just exactly what you need in a tactical shooter.
Another update. Niles West has defeated Naperville North 13-9, 13-5.
Enemy
That's
tag.
another update from around the league there. I'll keep bringing those to you as we see them come in. This one's shaping up to be a long match.
Aggressive up mid is definitely close, but Rise
Rise
finds
with a
one,
banger to the wall.
and it looks like Taft is getting collapsed on pretty quick here. Alex finding one for himself, and now they're getting closed in. Alex holding mid behind them, so they've pushed up, but they've left the flank open, and they're just kind of pigeonholed into this this side room, the connector from mid
Enemy
to B.
down.
Paradox getting another one through the smoke. It's not looking good. Alex does get taken out. Actually, a second from Raze.
One more. We got a
Player
round
standing.
here.
Not quite.
Yeah, there's the defenders. 8-8, like you said. The first 4 rounds after the switch all go the way of George Washington, and we have got ourselves a game.
Yeah. And this is the same issue that we were seeing on the first map as well. Taft have a good idea. They have a good push going, right? The theory is there, but once they got up mid, they didn't just force onto the B site, right? They took it too slow. They got collapsed on from mid, from Alex rotating, and then they got kind of stuck in that connector. But if they have that much mid control, they really need to commit to a site. And that's kind of the same hesitation we were seeing before. So they spot Cypher, spraying through the wall, tag him with the dart there.
Joke's over! You're dead! Joke's over!
Own
You're dead!
drone. Rise getting one. Looks like he expended the ultimate. The Taft pushing an aggressive onto his B site. They find 2 quick picks, making it a 3v4. Alex is here
Spike
with the
planted.
Ghost, 4 HP.
Oh, he
he
doesn't
almost
finish it.
does it.
I thought he had it.
Yeah, finds the head. But now Taft with a good
I
hold
know
on this side. It doesn't
exactly
look
where
like they're
you
getting too
are.
aggressive. Cypher ult actually goes down from the Patriots here. They're trying to make this retake happen.
Phone and Paradox. George Washington on their shoulders here, trying to do something.
It just feels like it's going a little bit too slow, and there we go. Paradox falls. And actually, Phone will fall.
Taft
As
finally
well.
with a round win here after the switch.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Whitney Young has beaten Glenwood 13-11, 13-3. Glenwood having come off that very long match and forced to just take no break and immediately play again. A long day for the Titans.
Yeah, it was long overtime.
Revealing
Longest
it.
match we've had in the season so far.
Yeah, the longest one we've seen in any IHSEA Valorant match. Last year's test or preseason invitational, the test win, all that good stuff. 17-15 is the longest one we've seen.
Yep.
Paradox with the
I
first pick
know
here. He gets 2.
exactly where you are.
All right, good start to the round. Looks like Taft going for like a dry A push and just getting caught out again. You know, something that would help these pushes is when you're double peeking an angle, one person needs to go wide, right? Usually that person goes first, swings wide, and then the other shoulder peeks the angle. But if you both try and play the angle close, you're just asking to get sprayed down. And second time now,
One
Cypher's
player
found that.
standing.
Oh,
There we
Rice
go.
gets both. How?
There you go. I think it's the same issue there. They're both just peeking together.
Bullseye.
Oh, okay. Silva's gonna run in. Corey finds a nice headshot, but then Rise is able to follow up and trade him off.
9-9.
Yeah, we're back to even on a map that initially looked a little bit one-sided.
York has defeated Springfield. That's another update there. York wins 13-8, 13-5.
Not too shabby.
All right, Sova looking for a recon potentially right off the bat. Sends it way up in the air. Let's see where that lands.
Here.
Looking for potentially. I'm not sure where they want to push. Spike's not been picked up yet. Let's get it. There we go. Cypher with Spike. Rotating back through. Bottom part of the map here. Where are we going to go?
It looks like Taft leaning towards B.
Yeah.
Haven't
Absolutely.
really contested mid too much, so
Bird gets that pick on his opposite number. Figs returns to favor though. We're trading.
yeah, Figs is on this fast flank too, but he's actually rotating back through connector. 4 people on Patriots now in the back of B site. 4 versus 4.
Spike planted.
Hunter's Fury is available. I don't know if this is where they want to use it. It could be impactful. Corey finds one onto Alex. That's going to be huge. Taking out their best players. Got to feel good in this situation.
Yep, when Alex drops, their
Player
chances
remaining.
of success go way
Corey,
up.
though.
But when a Corey pops off, their chances go up as well. Figs finishes off a Corey, but now it's 3v1 and he's low health.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to end up going for this one.
Not
We'll
with this
just
health.
save his equipment. Yeah.
Definitely think it was good to not use Hunter's Fury there on that last push we were just talking about. Not necessary. Gets it taken care of anyway.
Yeah. You never know, especially with these it getting later into the half, right? You want to at least, you don't just want to hold your ultimate the whole half. Use
Right.
it. You can probably get 2 or 3 ults off each half. So, you know, if they're almost close, maybe you use it there and just guarantee you secure it, and then you'll have it
Yeah.
up later. But
Yeah, you don't want to
Not
hold on to him too
necessary.
long, but you also don't want to get caught in a must-win round with nothing to do.
yeah, there's a balance for sure.
Thank you.
You look at our
Eagles.
econs here. Both kind of
Yeah.
low right now, actually. It's an even match. I mean, you'd expect to see an even econ.
Yeah, this half has been pretty back and forth. Eagles getting a couple rounds out. I think it's 2 to 5 in this half towards the Patriots.
Yep. All right, we going for an A push or a B push, fellas?
Just playing slow here, looking for some picks. Maybe if I'm Taft, they know the player's there, and Donatello will find him. And instantly, it looks like
to run!
Taft is rotating towards the site now with cat control. Hunter's Fury dropped, trying to get the Cypher off of the site. Being the anchor here.
Our Sanity picks Alex. There it is again. Chances of success go way up when Alex goes down.
Yeah, and this should be a clean round, but Figs does find one. He gets traded off. And yeah, 2v4 on the retake, not looking too good.
Still haven't planted it.
For
There we go.
Patriots,
Donatello
yeah.
finally gets the plant down. Cypher's
Spike
not
planted.
close. A dangerous retake here. And with where ult economies are this late, you kind of got to look at the numbers and wonder if it's even worth trying. I almost feel like it's not.
Yeah, well, especially because we saw the economy is not great for both teams here. This push is risky. Again, they're both going from heaven. It's easy to line them up here. Spammable through the wall. You're exposed. You have to clear these angles under you. This is a really hard retake. Paradox does find
player
one, though.
standing.
He knows the second player is under. Oh, but there were 3 players under. And they're only able to clear 1 in the end, so. Yeah, I don't know about that retake. I feel like just keeping your economy up would have been better. You can see here they have probably one more good buy-in, but you never know. It really as close as this game is, it's going to come down to those thin margins. Saving a weapon on a couple of rounds.
Yeah,
Could
or
be
just
what
a
make or
pop
break
off.
it. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's what I started to say at the
I will
onset of the stream today. Is Valorant one of those games that, while it is a team game and while there is definitely a component of strategy and utility usage to it, it sometimes can just be decided by somebody getting 4 eliminations in 1 round. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the beauty of tactical shooters. There's always room for individual performance to shine.
So after losing the first map, Taft up 11-9 here, trying to send us to a map 3, which would be Haven. Bird with the sightline. Can he find anybody? Not yet, at least.
Yeah, no one contesting Cat really, right? Just holding passive here.
This push is so slow that George Washington's got to wonder if anybody's even carrying a spike at the moment.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going aggressive for Catwalk. A lot of smoke's already down, though, so
Revealing
I don't
area.
know how they're going to keep this mid position walled off. Because he will be
Good by
spotted,
Pound.
cleared out. And Alex takes that opportunity to trade for one. Oh, and he does not escape. Meanwhile, Bird taking out another player. It's another 2v4 situation.
30 seconds left.
Strong
Taft.
play by by Taft, looking to push it to map point.
Yeah, and the last few rounds have been pretty convincing. They've found a really good foothold. They've been taking it slow. They get the picks
Spike
mid,
planted.
and then they push onto a site as a team, and that's really all you can ask.
And that momentum
from-
shift is so interesting because George Washington stomped them the first 4 rounds here
Revealing
after the
area.
switch.
Yeah,
One
I
enemy
think
remaining.
Taft have refined their game plan as we go. Figs trying to look for an entry there, and Rise not able to get out either.
Map point here, George Washington, no wiggle room if they're to take map 2.
Match point.
Yeah, and unfortunately the economy not looking good for the Patriots either. We got a Bulldog and some light armor, some no armor across the board. Looks like Taft setting up for a similar play. Couple gonna push through mid connector and look for the cat player. Hold
They're
that
push-
angle. You can see the sight lines there.
I can't get over how slow these pushes are by Taft here.
Yeah, and it's slow's not necessarily a bad thing as long
No.
as you have a plan, right? If you know where your goal is to end up, then it's not bad, but it can hurt you in the long run if you don't do anything too aggressive. They've done a good job so far. Looks
Very
like they're
spread out
actually-
right now.
Yeah, they're leaning B, maybe just looking to pull utility. A couple smokes will go down.
Trying to get the Sova or the Cypher to feel threatened on A enough to get a rotation out of it, but not happening yet. Reyna's thinking about it. So to finally pick up that spike is Phoenix.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just going to rotate back through mid.
Smoked mid-long there.
Catwalk walled off temporarily.
Ooh, they're putting pressure mid, but check it out, Phoenix and Raze.
Alex is going to get spotted by... Oh, he does not get spotted by the drone.
Oh my gosh.
That's going to be
Our
huge.
sanity
30
was picked.
seconds left.
Is this going to send us to a map 3? Rise says not yet. Rise says no way, not yet.
Oh, no, it was going so well, but then they
It
line up
was.
for Rise. He gets a clean 3K. He's still alive here on the back site. 10 seconds to plant. Phoenix needs
10
to rush
seconds left.
onto site here.
Rise says it's been a long day. I'm not ready to be done
there's
yet.
Hunter's Fury denying
Oh, he
the
can't get
plant.
out of it.
One more
One
shot
player
will do it.
remaining.
He couldn't get out of it. Gets hit by all 3.
Huge play by Figs to finish it out there. Very intelligent use of that Hunter's Fury. Okay, yeah, wait. I was like, wait, is the round still happening?
Oh, yeah, match point still. But George Washington, let's take a look at the econ here. Everybody's feeling comfortable right now, for the most part. They've got what they want. Great play
Yeah.
by Rise there, but if Rise doesn't pop off, we may be already headed to a game 3, so kudos to perform under pressure. And, yeah, they've won 4 in a row earlier.
I got you, bro.
Yeah, and they took out Alex first with that mid push. Alex had the advantage there, and maybe he just wasn't expecting the angle. Who knows? But somehow losing that duel opened it up for the Eagles. And
Rise no longer top fragging.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to be a quick A push here, kind of changing up the pace. The Silver Drone will go in, so maybe this is going to give away the plans. Alex getting aggressive in the smoke.
He says, walk in, do it.
A couple people with utility out in their hands.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Donatello gets a
Donatello
pick.
getting it straight through the smoke.
Alex, oh my gosh, they're all there.
Where is
Pulls it.
hiding?
The Cypher ult's going to come down. You know exactly where they are.
Phoenix gets a pick. It's 3v3 again.
Spike planted.
Okay.
George Washington not ready to be done yet.
Omen repositioning. Maybe getting a little bit of info with that as it does get canceled.
Cage triggered.
Two
There we go.
heaven.
This is going to have to be at 2 under Val.
They
Getting the push,
both
the
duos
flash
go
goes
there.
in.
Our Sandy gets
Players
picked.
have dropped.
And Pone, a hope and a dream.
Stuck in a 1v2. They just need to play time here, and they've won the map. Don't peek him.
Oh, Pone, turn around.
Oh, no.
No,
is.
Taft says we're
Attackers
going to a
win.
map 3, folks. And it is going to be Haven. Well done by the Eagles there. Taking us to our first, our first Valorant non-2-0 on stream. It happened earlier than it has Overwatch. Still hasn't happened in Overwatch.
Yeah.
So 13 to
good
10,
match.
game 2. Yeah, that was a great match
Something
thus
to
far.
point
We're
out,
heading to Haven.
both teams winning the opponent's map pick. So
Absolutely. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back for map 3 between the Eagles of Taft High School and the Patriots of George Washington High School. Stick around.
right, into game 3 we go. This is George Washington versus Taft. Both teams winning each other's map pick. So we are going to move into Haven. Third map, 3 bomb sites. Let's see what they can do. I think the first map George Washington took, and they definitely looked a little more coordinated, but in map 2, Taft seemed to regroup. They had kind of figured out the offensive side in that second half, which was able to bring us to this third map. So let's see what these teams have planned for Haven. Neither team's map pick. This is just the tiebreaker. And it looks like pretty similar compositions being run so far, at least with the hovers. No one changing anything up too much. Actually, no, I take that back. It looks like on the side of George Washington, they're kind of switching up who's doing what here. But overall, same hero picks. Story of these games so far is we've had a couple players
Select your
that
agent.
are just doing very well. It would be Alex on one side and Akoria, and I think it was Birdv on the second map, both doing very well so far in this series. I'd be curious to see if they can keep that up going to a third map, or if we're going to see maybe someone else or rise up, or the level of play just kind of diminish as we get later and later into this night. Both teams, this is, I believe, their 5th map they've played this afternoon. Competitive games can be taxing, and Haven can get a little chaotic with how many options there are on offense. So we'll see how this goes. Generally, a little more offensive sided than most maps, just because of how split the defense needs to be. So here we go into map 1. Like the Patriots starting off on defense. Not having anyone on the B site, though. They're playing 2-0-3. There we go. Omen will rotate. And Cypher rotates back. Although I don't believe Cypher set up any of his utility, so a little bit disorganized here from the Patriots to start off this map. Now Cypher's going to C site. He might have forgotten. 5 seconds left, so he's not going to be able to set up fully. Don't know if it'll make a big difference, but Taft are actually leaning pretty heavily towards C. Just getting orb control C long. And now moving into a little more of a default across the map. Figs with this aggressive position up mid, may be able to catch probably one person off. It's a little bit of a one and done spot. Taft slowly rotating towards A, so they were able to get the ult charge off the point, and they hear that this one, I think they know that someone is a short here. But they're setting up for an execute. Once this smoke goes down, Sova should know that there's a player there. Let's see if Pone is aware. Is he going to peek this? There we go. He gets the double dink, and that's a nice pick to open up the map. Birdv gets Alex on site. Now we have a 4v4 retake scenario. Good recon dart to reveal the players on site.
30 seconds left.
Sova will move into the flank here on the retake. Bomb just going down.
Spike planted.
The Eagles have a good hold, but they are going to get pincered here in a couple seconds. Let's see what the Patriots can do on this retake.
Found them.
Corey moving in, finds one. 2 traded in return. Paradox getting his second himself. Going for the third under Balky, finds it. A clean retake there from the Patriots. Waiting for the opportune moment, just waiting out the utility, and then moving in as a unit. Good round. see what Eagles do here. A little bit of a half buy from the Patriots, not committing to the rifles yet. They're just going to stick to the SMGs.
This is a nice spot.
Looks like they've finally decided on their defensive setup. We're going to have Cypher anchoring the C site. And a big 5-man push here into Garage.
Careful now.
Going for the C site. Couple peeking into the window. They're going to get tagged by that Cypher dart, but they are on the C site. Rise getting one, Rise getting a second. And he gets pushed from behind, but that's a good start
One
here.
enemy remaining.
Paradox and Alex getting a couple of their own, and there's only one more player remaining. Alex will find him and take him out. Good attempt there by the Eagles. Making a little bit of progress, but it's definitely hard, lacking the firepower, even though you get the position. A little too tough to hold. So here we go. Not a complete buy from the Patriots. Still sticking with the SMGs. They'll probably hold on to them until they die. But the Eagles coming in with a full buy on this third round.
Revealing area.
We'll see if that changes how they play here. I'd like to see them go for maybe a pick C long. Cypher not really peeking at all, though. Playing to his strength, the SMG. Taft just waiting, potentially for a push. Patriots gambling a little bit towards the C site. It looks like Sova is pushed up A long, so they'll have info if they're going there. I think they believe it is going to be a B push, and here it is. Coming in mid, Figs goes down. That leaves the site completely open. Smokes are dropped, and Bomb's going to go down.
Spike planted.
One
It's
down.
going to get a little hectic here in mid as Alex falls. A couple players from the Eagles still kind of hang out in spawn. These two players on the B site are isolated.
Player remaining.
Omen's going to go for the aggressive push there. And it leaves Rise here in a 1v4 retake. Not going to be able to get it done. Donatello finds him through the box. That round loss, the Patriots are going to go ahead and full buy into this. You got to remember that that was just SMGs. They didn't commit too hard into the third round because it wasn't necessary. And it leaves them in an okay spot here. Now, if they do lose this, their economy will be very low. Another pretty default push here. Taft leaning towards the B and C side of this map as their default play. It looks like they're trying to maybe pinch onto the C site. Let's see if they can find a pick here. C long has been smoked off pretty consistently this entire round, so no opportunity there yet. But again, from George Washington, you can see Sova pushed up A long here. So he has good info. He's going to go ahead and even peek it and see that there's no one there. But he might be giving his team false information because he's calling that he doesn't see anyone. And all 5 players are just outside long. Here comes the recon drone. He's going to go ahead and spot this push out. Or does
30 seconds left.
Oh. Jack going to dash right in. Maybe a little aggressive without her team, but Donatello gets traded out there.
Come on, let's go.
That's a fast push onto the A site. Everyone from the Patriots here.
10 seconds
Phoenix
left.
was very aggressive.
Spike planted.
Active. 2 getting caught in CT from the Patriots, and now they're in a 2v4 situation, trying to get onto this site. Rise trying to line up a camera maybe get a little more info, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get it.
No charges.
And it looks like the Patriots are just going to back off this one. Not really feasible with their HP smoked off as well, so unrealistic to think that they can go for this retake. They're just going to hold on to the equipment, considering that their next round economy is not going to be looking too great.
Coach Bruce, I'm back. Thank you so much for taking 4 rounds solo there for me.
Oh, you weren't guessing? Oh, I was leaving space for you and everything. Wow. Yeah.
Well, it looks like I've rejoined on what seems to be a great third game already.
Yeah, pretty back and forth so far. I think, you know, I think so far it's kind of the same thing we've seen before. Taft, they have good ideas, but it comes down to the execution, right? They're playing the default pretty good so far.
Revealing area.
Yeah, it's 2-2 in the scoreline. Alex gets a nice pick. A side.
Again, here at Haven, the difference with this map and the other 2 we've seen thus far is the fact that we do have a point C. So the defensive advantage is less dramatic here than it was at our second map, but it's still definitely there, especially if that mid control's there. So the Patriots are going to want to have more than a tie going into the switch here.
Annihilated.
Yeah, and with that being said, looks like the Patriots are finding some nice picks. Alex getting one through the door.
Standing.
Wall banger, hello,
Third.
2 of them.
Be the end of this round.
Coach Mendez, let me catch up on this econ and leaderboard here. Let me take a look at what we got going on. Thank you, sir. Alex, okay. Alex back to old form. Paradox having a game as well. And then again, Taft seemingly spreading the love here. I think the playstyle of these teams is so interesting, just because, like, in terms of how they move and sort of the slowness until it's super fast, it seems very similar. But the actual production is not the same for these teams. It seems that Alex and Paradox over this match have been the lion's share of the eliminations coming through, whereas Taft is sharing them more as a team. So I think it's interesting that they move in similar fashions, but manage to not get the eliminations in similar ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would also say that these 2 teams are kind of flip-flopped in how they play their offense rounds. I think Taft always start off kind of with the right idea, and then sometimes the execution gets a little messed up, maybe like we're seeing here. And then on the other side, I think George Washington kind of takes them a little bit to figure out what they want to do, but once they do, it's a good, like, coordinated team push, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's an interesting matchup for sure. A little bit of a duel going down here in the mid. But yeah, the Eagles not able to find any picks in return. It looks like they're grouping up to hit this seed long push. Only 1 player there so far. Smoking off garage window, so maybe Jet can get in. And here we go.
30 seconds left.
Like looking backside. Not expecting Birdbee to run through both of them.
That reaction was quick on the part of Bird there.
Yep.
Akori with an ult
Spike
kill there
planted.
with Jet. Another, in fact, on Alex. That's big.
Nowhere to run!
Yeah, looking good for Taft in this one. Gonna bring it to 3-3.
That reaction there by Bird just makes me think to comment on, you know, esports are, any esport has a different challenge about it, whether mechanically and in terms of intelligence. But one of the things esports has on nearly every sport is that
player
reaction
standing.
time. These kids exhibit reaction times that have been studied extensively and found to be similar to
player
Olympic
standing.
athletes in terms of microsecond reactions. I mean, it's really something what they're able to do. Eagles able to tie it up there at 3-3, but it just blows my mind. I mean, I'm only 25, and I feel like I have fairly quick reactions on a number of games, but then I see my players do things that are just nuts. And I think that's so fun that we get to watch esports, and it's come to this point
need
of the spectator
My thanks.
aspect of it, that it makes it so fun to just have your mind blown when you see something that fast happen.
Yeah, definitely.
25 is the age where you officially are getting too old to play professionally in terms of just physiology and how quick you can react and things. So I'm officially washed, is what I'm saying.
Revealing area.
And that's why you see pros that are 16, 17, 18-year-old. These kids are nuts, these games.
Yeah, especially if you follow like the professional Valorant scene. You see a lot of like veterans from Counter-Strike paired with some new talent. You get the brains and the brawn there.
Absolutely.
But in the high school league, sometimes it's all brawn, no brains.
Sometimes it's all brains, no
Sometimes
brawn.
Yeah, so
Tell you what, though, Illinois is really lucky. The IHSEA, just as big scale it is, as talented as our players are. I mean, Naperville North represented the Central Region in the NACEF Grand Finals at the national level last year. I mean, we have some good talent in Illinois for all 6 games we play, and it's just such a joy to watch all these guys.
yeah, for sure. Going into this 7th round, looks like another pick going the way of the Patriots, and now Taft lined up for an A push here. 2 people already on the A site. So I
30
have to
seconds
imagine
left.
once the smoke goes down, we're going to see some full rotations coming over.
Yeah, here they come.
Joke's over.
Double smoke. They've committed. They know where they're going now.
Coleman flank into heaven.
Alex in
only going to
trouble.
get one.
Nowhere.
Bomb's going to go down. Wait, Figs. They didn't
10
clear
seconds
short.
left.
Hunter's Fury going to come out and stop the plant, but Figs actually doesn't find anything. Now Hunter's Fury
Spike
burned.
planted.
Bomb's going to go down in time. Player is going to get into heaven. Paradox doesn't
player
find him.
standing.
Finds a second. Rise gets the 3rd, and there's the defuse. Nice retake again from the Patriots.
Absolutely. I think if you are Taft and actually George Washington as well, you want to look back on this film and do some number crunching on how many rounds you won when Alex was the first to die. And I like, if you're Taft, you want to put some resources into getting rid of Alex if you find her out somewhere on the battlefield. She's just making such an impact. This round, not quite as dramatic, but her playmaking ability there is so good, and this is just going to be fun to watch this team all year. But that early pick on Alex has been a big deal throughout this. And I might go back just out of curiosity and look back at the numbers of what percentage, how they increase or decrease percentage wins with Alex or without Alex. But Paradox was the one with the play right there.
Yeah, we can see the economy not looking too great for Taft. If this
it's
one
not.
goes south, they'll probably be saving. Got the double jeopardy here. Eagles taking over mid here. Leaving one player to keep an eye on long, but it looks like they're going to try and commit towards either the B or the C site. Leaning B right now.
The hunt begins.
As they say that, they go right back towards garage. Okay, now they're going back toward... Okay, I'm just going to... I'll just let them play.
Oh, the score update. We did have another match go 3 maps. Joliet has defeated Lions Township 2-1. So that one went deep. It was 7-13, 13-2, and then 13-9 for the last game there. So a close one there between Joliet and Lions. This one's shaping up to be an equally close game, if not closer.
Yeah, here comes the push through Raj onto the C
30
site.
seconds left.
Sova and Cypher holding backline pretty well. Both of them will go down, but they ended up getting 3. Change for there too. Alex going to stop the plant with a nice little headshot lined up there. And now Birdie's stuck in this back site. He does find Paradox. And these players are pushing from 2 separate angles.
10 seconds
Potentially
left.
Oh, but
dangerous.
the bomb never went down.
Yeah.
There it is. Figs will pick him up. If the bomb had went down, it would have been a different story, but Birdview is at a big disadvantage there. Being stuck in the corner, having to cross.
trying to study this econ. But if you're in the head of George Washington right now, you've picked up a couple rounds, you're rolling a little bit. You don't have amazing econ, but you have better econ. Are you looking to like full buy here, or do you what is your idea here to try to keep the momentum rolling?
I mean, I think at this point, I think you full buy, and you just make sure that you play the right angles. We don't drop anyone here, right? We know that they're on pistols, probably saving. So you want to play those C long angles, the A long, play like back of B site. Try and avoid the close range encounters, and it should be pretty easy. I don't really like buying into SMGs this late into the half, because then if you don't die, then it kind of feels like a waste. Do you upgrade? Stuff like that. So Eagles moving up A short as a unit here. They're going to try and play those closer range angles, and here we go. They're spotted now. Push comes in. Omen able to TP out of that corner, so that's very good for him. Some spray going through the smoke. One's going to find one on Spurvey. Biggs gets another. Players are still kind of screaming in. One of them gets pretty far close to CT through all those smokes, but Pone and Rise are going to close out the round pretty convincingly.
Yeah, a pretty good round for Pone there. Taking a look, he's now top fragging after that round. Yeah, I think this might be Pone's first time top fragging at this point. It had been Alex or Paradox or Rise up to that point. Pone on top
definitely farming the eco frags.
Don't see a lot of Sova top fragging. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, kills a kill. Pone's been the primary A player here, just holding down A long. Done a good job so far.
Cover going out.
And it's another situation where if Taft lose, their economy is not looking good again. So
yeah,
it's going to keep being these 2-for-1s for the Patriots until Taft can make something happen for themselves.
Just seems like a lot of lost duels for the Eagles right now. Their leaderboard showed nobody's positive right now. I mean, they're just losing a lot of one-on-ones. There's another. The two strong players throughout this match. Alex wins that one.
Nowhere to run!
Yeah, and that's huge. Losing a Corey, who was showing up pretty big in the first two maps. That's gotta hurt. And they pigeonholed themselves into kind of going long here. 3 people long. The leader's gonna go out. Slow them down along with the smokes. Flash goes into the garage. He's gonna catch Bird V. Nice fall from Paradox. Oh, looks like Figs pushing on the flank as well. Gets one.
Here.
And
I know
he's getting torn apart at this point.
Yeah.
Figs getting a little ambitious with the push, but
they're going to need to reevaluate for sure and really stop the bleeding right now, because if they don't stop this before the switch, it's going to be a very, very large hill to climb up after the switch.
Mm-hmm.
George Washington, the perhaps the favored team coming into this matchup, but Taft not rolling over map 2. They bring it back, force the game 3, but not seeing the same Eagles team we saw in map 2 there.
One enemy remaining. 10 seconds left.
And by Alex, gets 2 of them.
3 overall in the round, doing that angle pretty tight. Getting the headshots and
Fighting over that top frag spot. They want it. Yeah, and like you said, now Taft in trouble. Econ low, weapons low, armor low.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta hope for the best to have a hero around here.
Yeah, I'd look for Taft to try something different. It looks like they're doing just that. They're going quick into mid this round, trying to shake it up, change the tempo. Smokes go down on both sides. They're going to run straight in, and only Alex is here. Hold the site. He's actually going to retreat back through the smoke, wait for his teammates to rotate in. I think that's the correct play in this scenario. As you can see, Phoenix already on the flank, up mid. Pone's going to find one. The Hunter's Fury is going to do a lot in this big angle. One's gonna get a second one.
Spike
Bomb just going down now. Feels a little slow. Oh no.
Oh, he doesn't know there's 2.
Yeah. It's fish in the barrel kind of situation here.
Yeah, he's stuck.
Yeah.
Flawless.
Revealing area.
All this round. Great mindset from Taft, but I think if
Last
you're gonna rush
round
the
or the
site,
half.
site is so hard to hold, especially with 5. Not a lot of space to move around. The solo ult has a ton of value.
I think that the B site rush maybe is ingrained in their minds because when Sage was really strong, that was a good play. You can wall off one of them, particularly main, and really focus on just 2 spots. But Sage's nerf brought her out of the game for the most part in high level competition, and B is just so open now.
Yeah, definitely. Little remnant.
Revealing area.
Old batches.
A better time.
Yeah. Well, but you know, who's to say it was better?
I mean, I've main Viper, so I'm enjoying the current patch.
There you go.
Corey looking for some long shots there. That's been the name of the game for Corey up to this point. Needs someone to step up and make a play for the Eagles.
Yeah, finally getting it op into his hands as well. I think this is the first round. Only 2 left in the half. Or no, sorry, 1, right? This is the last round.
Yes, this is the last round before the switch, so they spin everything they had here.
See what they can do with it. Push coming in. 3 long, 2 short. Oh, it's just one's gonna find 1. It's gonna peek with the bow out there.
I know exactly where you are.
Rotation's coming in. Alex is gonna be traded off as well.
Blocking sight.
Fig's going down, and now it's a 2 versus 3, 2 versus 4 situation.
Started something
Looking pretty good. Phoenix all running in.
Spike planted.
Everything being dropped though here in the last round.
Yep. Hi. Oh, surprising there.
Both players missing.
And then Paradox gets it. I'm surprised.
Corey with the slow peek there.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not over yet. They can definitely win this. Rise and Paradox with a nice crossfire moving into the site, and the reload from Cypher at the worst time.
Yeah, not the choice to reload. I can't get over that the miss that Corey had. I thought for sure she got that one down, but
yeah,
maybe you can't just slow peek the Patriots.
Yeah, moving before the shot goes off.
Switching sides.
Nice presence of mind there on the 2v4 retake. Just play it slow, cover the angles, and yeah. Patriots with some nice coordination earned that 9 offensive or defensive rounds actually.
Yeah, it's a tall order here for Taft, but certainly not out of the realm of possibility with the switch of offense and defense. Maybe they're feeling more comfortable on defense now. And this, you know, it's hard to see what's going to happen, but they've shown they can beat the Patriots. So I'm really interested to see how this transpires. Though if it keeps going how it has the last few rounds, this is going to end 12-3. This has been very, very commanding the last few rounds for George Washington.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what the plan here is. Patriots moving in potentially for a B split.
Alex first pick.
Yeah, winning the fight in garage, that's going to be huge. Now you can see Cypher, he's on this island by himself, and players already moved into B site. Spike's going to go down now.
Spike planted.
Corey in trouble.
Yeah, there's not much he can do backside. He needs to just commit to 1. Meanwhile, his team getting picked off in rotation. Stuck in the backside. There it is. Smoke goes down. And a flawless round from George Washington. If they can maintain this into the next 2, you're looking at an 11-3, maybe 12-3 if they win the first gun round. It's really going to be about that round. So this one's not too important, but I'm assuming George Washington will go up 11-3. Taft will need to win out from there.
Yep.
It's tough. Yeah.
It's tough.
Not even just like statistically, just like mentally, it's hard to maintain it, right? Because any one mistake from one player could cost the game, the series, and that's weighing on you. So we'll see how they handle it here. They're getting very aggressive in mid. This is what you need to do when you are at a disadvantage economy-wise. And you can tell they already kind of have an inkling that it's going to be this A push. 2 players in spawn. Patriots moving in.
Spike planted.
And at this point, I think the flank was a little bit too slow. They should be expecting it by now. See what they can do.
Alex with the banger through the door, through the wall rather.
Yep. Okay, there's a Corey on the flank. So they weren't expecting a short, and now the chaos
Remaining.
starts happening. but it's shut down pretty quick by Paradox. And this is it.
Yeah, it's George Washington definitely lost that second map. It was tough. Taft played. I think Taft was playing out of their mind, and seems to have run out of gas here,
Right here.
at Haven. George Washington just the better team right now on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I think it is from what I've seen, I think Taft kind of struggles on the offense, and when we played the second map, which was a lot more defensive heavy, I think they were able to put up a better game, but so far,
Cage triggered.
George Washington looking like they're going to take this map here.
Although not
we
quite
say
yet.
that, and we get 2 through the smoke, so it's around.
Well, Caster's curse there, Coach Bruce.
Exactly.
One
Hello.
player remaining.
Okay, 3K on our sanity.
It may be over, but it's not over yet.
Yeah, it is Alex. He has his ultimate abilities. He finds 2. Is this going to be his ace? He's gotten an ace both maps. This would be it. He's blinded a little bit. Bomb's not down, but he has a minute to play with.
This would
Definitely
be so,
doable.
it would be so clutch. Nice blind.
Oh, he spots that player. He knows where they both are.
Oh, he doesn't quite get the Phoenix.
Birdie swings out and takes Alex down, but you couldn't help but feel that the ace was coming at that point.
No. And I don't.
One for
Even if he
map.
did manage to get Bird, I don't think he was going to be able to get our sanity. They were swinging really well together and taking
Yeah.
turns peeking, so our sanity was ready to peel them off there. But man, it's just because what we've seen from Alex all game, especially with the ult online. You're like, ooh, maybe, maybe might be something crazy.
Yeah, I believed. I was a believer.
11-4 now.
Yeah, still a mountain to climb, but that was the first step. See if they can repeat that success.
Definitely a
Quick A
defensive
push.
team.
Yeah. Omen in this spot here. We'll see if they check it. Blind's gonna come in. That actually kind of gives away his position. But no, Riot pops the ult and she doesn't check.
Yeah,
She's
you
gonna go
got
down
it.
for free.
You can't not peek that spot when you walk through there.
Yeah. Well, he even threw the blind, so at least
I
they
know.
should have had an indication. But now they're gonna full rotate towards the C site in hopes to try and get some tempo here. It looks like Cypher will get there just in time. He spots the push though. And the spike will go down. 4v5 situation.
Spike planted.
Our sanity with a nice pick. George Washington in this post plant. Again, we see all the players of Taft coming through CT, the same angle. And with 2 players long, this could still be a good round here from the Patriots. All right, the Phoenix wall goes down. First
One
pick.
player
Exactly
remaining.
where you
It's
are.
going the way of Taft.
Yeah,
There it is.
yeah, good utility usage. And Patriots just playing a little bit too slow.
Another update around the league. We have another 3-map series between Von Steuben and York's second varsity team. Von Steuben will take that 2-1. They'll be 2-0 on the day after they were part of that first very long match with Glenwood. But yeah, congratulations to Von Steuben. Back to this one.
Not too great of a buy, looking like a little bit of a half buy from the Patriots. We've seen these win a couple of times, though. I'm not going to count them out, but they will need to be a little creative, as it looks like we finally have that defensive op on C long.
You know, I think that they're certainly not under a ton of pressure to buy right now. Like, they have rounds to work with, but the danger of this that happens sometimes is they will not buy to save for a round they know they can win, and then they don't win, and then suddenly you have a problem. Especially when you're only down 6, that can get on you really quick. Big does get the pick to start though.
And it's a Corey, too, with the op.
Joke's
Donatello
over.
gets
You're
one
dead.
back, and the spike will go down. 3v4 situation.
Spike planted.
Players
Phoenix
going
ult.
to face plant into each other out of the Phoenix ult.
They do again. Bird gets it this time. There's another. Taft is coming, guys. They are not ready to give this match up.
Yeah, nice retake.
If you're a Taft fan in Twitch chat, you better be commenting, guys. This 3 in a row now, And what seemed unlikely at first now seems significantly more possible. Look at the econs. Look at the weapons. George Washington better be careful.
I need a drop.
And now it's George Washington's economy that's getting a little sketchy. Right, and this is the same scenario. It's a what is it, a 5-round difference, but honestly, it's only 2 or 3 rounds because half of the rounds from half the rounds from the Patriots are going to be half buys if they don't get a win out. So very doable.
Huge round.
1 round
right
at
here.
a time. You've got to take it from Taft, but so far so good.
Yeah, every round is a must-win for Taft at this point, but this is going to be one of the big ones. A silver recon drone, just so helpful.
Get out of my way!
Yeah, similar push coming out from the Patriots here.
Well, Corey has ulted.
And he's playing in a very aggressive spot. If anyone runs A long here, he might even hear them.
Reyna coming behind him. Might be in a lot. Oh, Bard
Pick, goes bird peek.
Another one!
Second pick.
Oh my gosh.
Third kill even being found in rotation, and
Paradox. Where his teammates
So-
had trouble before. Ooh. Alex does get a Corey, even though Corey was ulting. Nice shot by Alex.
yeah, maybe just not expecting the player to be lurking towards C.
One player remaining.
Here's the third, locking down A long. Wall goes up, he'll heal himself.
I'll tell you what, obviously...
Is this the ace round or no?
30
What do you
seconds
think?
left.
30 seconds.
Did he get it?
Hiding in spawn. I don't
No,
know.
Reyna's not
Yeah.
going to give up here. I'll tell you what, though. Third party, couldn't care less who wins this match. But I will tell you this. It's hard for me to not root for Taft to make this even. This has been so fun. Down 11-3. They're going to be 11-7 now. And this is, like, the percentage is way
10
higher
seconds
at
left.
11-7 to potentially make this happen. They're definitely a defensive team up to this point. And with the economy they have, the weapons they have, George Washington's economy is in shambles. This is, I don't know. I think this is going to get real close.
Yeah. Yeah, it started, what, 11-3, 11-4?
11-3 is where we were, yep.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what.
4 in a row from Taft. George Washington really only won the pistol and the following round, so they haven't put up a gun round that's been able to beat this Taft defense.
Yeah, here they went ahead and bought, and you know they just have no money.
Let's go.
Just barely enough to get rifles and armor across the board.
Yeah, Alex even spending all the money that he had to get Rise some armor at all. They need to steal around here, otherwise Taft is going to start rolling. This is their strength right now.
Joke's over.
Not sure where they're
You're
going here.
dead.
Sova's peeking down C long at Jet of Taft.
Yeah, looks like they're just trying to split C. A wasn't really working for them. So here they are. 2 already up garage.
Corey
Taft
gets the
C
first
to
pick.
control. Yeah, and there it is. Nice pick on the long player. Rise returns though with the kill. They haven't found the Cypher on the site yet though.
Spike
Playing behind the box.
Hunter's Fury does get figs. Did the plant get down? It did. Spike has been planted. It was an early plant there, but
Donatello gets 2. And Alex
remaining.
with the flank.
2v1. Cypher's
Spotted
weak.
out.
This is Taft's round to win again. Right in trouble. Down.
Flanked out by Donatello. Nice 4K.
11-8, folks.
You
There
failed.
was potential there. Maybe Alex played it a little bit slower, but he was able to get instantly traded off there on the flank.
Yeah, I think it was definitely too early a plant. I don't think that they had got Taft where they wanted them yet, positioning-wise, before they planted, and Taft was able to quickly re-engage. And I think Alex got a little antsy there, trying to carry the weight of the team and get some eliminations. But you can't, with teams this good, at some point you can't just walk down mid and hope for the best.
Definitely.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Now
Alright,
only
so-
3-round differential. We're getting there.
Yeah, and
Bye.
This should do.
remember how you said they were struggling with A, they weren't real sure about it, they were going C. Immediately Taft shifted towards C, and now here they go back towards A again.
Yeah, they're just, a little bit of a recency bias. It's like, oh, C didn't work, let's try A. Oh, A didn't work, let's try C. So
Yeah.
we're gonna go back and forth and maybe hope eventually we get in. But
Bird!
yeah, he's gonna say no, not today. And then a nice follow.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
All right.
Was that one shot by a Corey?
I believe it was a collateral, yeah.
I thought that was a collateral. A collateral off the wall banger. Holy, 11-9. Guys, it was 11-3. Taft with potentially the comeback of the season here. You'll love to see this close Valorant. George Washington, if you're their captain and if you're their IGL right now, what do you, I mean, it's obvious what you're saying to your team. You got to say, guys, calm down. Like, we were up 11-3. We know how to beat this team. We need to chill out, be decisive, make smart plays. That's when they win. When they force Taft to have to think too much. They need to be a little more creative. That's going to help.
Yeah.
That's a
Corey
big
missing
pick on
the
a Corey.
op shot, leaving B wide open. But we've seen this before. If we funnel all of our players into this B site, could get tough. Alex going aggressive on the side, taking down one. This is a good start for George Washington. They might have broken the streak. Taft had set up. Omen ulting to get himself out of the corner, potentially. Putting himself on the C site.
Ooh, that's a bad pick. Now this is definitely looking to go George Washington and make this match point. Barring a hero play.
Yeah, look at this Omen flank. There it is.
Nope, there's the collateral. Returns the favor from last round.
All right,
Match
here we are at
point.
match point now. Good thing is Taft has built up a great economy up to this point. So
Corey has the op she wants. You know, they just won 6 in a row. They're not sweating 3 to tie, 5 to win. You know, the economy is definitely still in their favor, though at least George Washington has something to work with now. In any case, what a match this has been, despite how this round will go. Taft really showing up and saying, don't give up yet, guys. Anything can happen in Valorant.
you know, looks like Patriots going for a similar push here. This is what worked for them last time. They got early garage control and they moved towards the mid and B play. So they're doing something similar here. They're going to follow the Sova into this mid. And actually, Corey pushed up very aggressive with this off. Oh no, he doesn't actually have the op.
Oh, he must have dropped it. He definitely
Yeah,
had
he must have switched off. Playing this close angle mid.
They're rotating to A.
Yeah, so they got mid control to push Alex into garage, and now they're gonna let him lurk as the rest of the team moves towards A. This is huge.
No one's there.
Yeah, Taft thinks that it's a B push.
Oh my gosh.
Or C, they're all rotating over. Corey's gonna hear the footsteps. No one knows the.
Alex with the ultimate distraction. Okori does get Alex. Oh man, the Patriots had to plant there.
No.
They had to go. They just, oh man, they just didn't know. There wasn't enough utility to find out.
And they were relying too heavily on Alex there, I think.
30 seconds left.
They wanted him to get a pick to force something, but they didn't know they had already done it.
Yeah, they had already made that. Man, you needed a Cypher ult right then. If they had that Cypher ult, this would be over. They would have be set up. But man.
Yeah, Paradox. Spots Omen rotating over. 12 seconds left.
10 seconds
Finally
left.
The tripwire will go, so rotations come in 5 versus 4.
Spike planted.
Here comes Eagles.
Yeah, there is a Hunter's Fury on George Washington's side too, so with the spike down. Oh, it's actually used very early.
Ooh, I don't
Oh
know.
no, sorry, that was just
Yeah. Pigs with the pick, they're gonna even it up. 4-4. Don't Donatello.
Going back, I'm really just watching for this Sova. Once the bombs are defused, here it is, Hunter's Fury on the spike. Shot.
Didn't want to shoot it. Corey's ulting. Gets taken down though. 1v2, this might be it. 1v1.
On the spike, pinging him through the wall.
Oh, gets him.
Attackers win.
Today is
Well
not our day to
played.
die.
Ooh, came down to a brilliant last round. All kinds of trading. That was a long match, but man, that was a fun one.
Definitely.
Well played to George Washington. They take their second match of the season, 2-1 over Taft, to advance to 2-0 on this young season. Let's take a look at anything else that's been happening. I'm going to take a look at the challenge bracket to give you guys an update on standing, see what we have outstanding left today. Although after as long as that went, I bet we probably have most of our matches done, if not all of them. And we do. So your second round matchups: Niles West beats Naperville North 2-0. York beats Springfield 2-0. Jones beats Niles North 2-0. Whitney Young beats Glenwood 2-0. Barrington beats St. Patrick 2-0. Von Steuben takes down York's second team 2-1. Joliet takes down Lions 2-1. Plainfield North takes down Salem 2-0. And you just saw George Washington take down Taft 2-1. As I told you guys at the beginning of this broadcast, this is a Swiss bracket. So next week, if you're checking out the challenge, the 2-0 teams will be matched up against another 2-0 team. The 1-1 teams will be matched up against another 1-1 team, and the 0-2 teams will be matched up against another 0-2 team, and go from there as we start to sort out who the best team in the IHSEA is. Only 4 teams are undefeated, or 5 rather, undefeated after this: Whitney Young, Jones, York, Niles West, and George Washington. Coach Bruce, that was fun. Thank you for the excellent commentary today.
Yeah, it was a good series to cast.
Awesome, guys. Hey, we've got Overwatch next week. The playoffs continue. The quarterfinals on Wednesday. Rocket League playoffs continue the day after on Thursday. And then we've got the Overwatch semis and grand finals the following Saturday. Tune in next week, guys, as the IHSEA playoff season for 2 of our games continues and the Valorant season continues. Not next week, but the week after. We're taking a break for the Overwatch finals that week. So, guys, thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for being with us for the long stream. We hope you have a fantastic weekend. As TiVo always says, do your homework, guys.